Hi, and welcome to today's Pick a Card general reading. Today's reading should be really fun, it should be exciting, it should be something to help keep us distracted and maybe give us a little break from whatever else we're going through. Sending so much love to all of you. Thank you if you're a returning subscriber, or if you're someone who just saw this title and was like, ooh, that looks interesting. Welcome just the same. So lovely to have all of you here. And I just want to say I really appreciate all the energetic exchange, whether you're just like clicking in, whether you're liking videos, whether you're buying merch, whether you're buying the tissue box messages, or a patron who's been supporting me. Every little bit honestly just goes a long way when you're empathetic. So I really do pick up on all of that, and I value each and every one of you. Today's reading, we're asking Spirit about your soulmate. I don't know if I've ever done this topic before. I don't think I've ever done a soulmate reading on my channel, which completely blew my mind. I was like watching them back to back, as you do, you get into that binging business. And yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've ever done this. So I'm pretty excited. We have 4 groups as usual. We're going to be pulling initials. We're going to be getting personality traits. We're going to ask Spirit what your first impression of them is. We're going to ask what the relationship may be like. I'm aiming for a more romantic soulmate connection, but as we know, soulmates come in many different forms, so it'll be interesting to see what comes up in the 4 groups today. So you all have a card that will help decide, it will help show you what your first impression of your soulmate will be. I'm not going to show you your card yet. You have crystals / rocks instead to help you pick a group. So group 1 over here, your crystal is this interesting natural quartz. It probably has a fantastical name in its own little way, but I just know it is my natural quartz. And when I'm this far zoomed out, I have a really hard time focusing the camera. So I'm going to try to help you as much as I can. Does that help? It does. Okay, there we go. So group 1, that's your crystal. Group 2, you have this interesting, it's almost like granite. I love rocks. I love them so much. And this rock is just like stable and it just feels so nice and grounding. It probably just came off a piece of the road, if I'm honest. It's probably like asphalt or something. But it's very, very nice. And I don't know, I just resonate with the energy. So it's got a bluey tinge to it as well, if you want to know. Group 3, you have the rose quartz, the raw rose quartz. This one has been in the sun a little bit too much. It's slightly faded, but still has a good energy. That needs to be recharged though, if I'm honest. Group 4 over here, you have this other quartz, which kind of looks smoky, but it's more just natural quartz that we find around here in this part of this world. So those are the 4 groups, all either a quartz or some form of rock. When you know which of these 4 groups you're feeling most called to, scroll down below to the description box where you'll find your timestamps to join me in your reading. If you do need more time, please don't rush this process. Pause the video, meditate on it, think about it, contemplate, do your wonderful, weird, wild methods, and then join me in your reading. Hi group 1 and welcome. If you chose this beautiful quartz rock, then this is going to be your reading. So group 1, today we're asking Spirit about your soulmate. I can't believe I've never done this reading before. Honestly, I can't believe I've been doing love readings on this channel for nearly a year now, and I still haven't even done a soulmate reading. That is so bizarre to me. In future, when I start doing personal readings again, I do want to do a soulmate reading package as well. So we're trialing it today. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things, starting with this card, group 1. So this is your first impression of your soulmate. Oh my days. It is the citrine quartz, the number 23. You also have Uranus, I believe, and your crown chakra showing up there. I'm going to double check. I will be reading the messages from the book for these cards, but intuitively speaking, what this is telling me, group 1, is that your soulmate is someone who is spontaneous and they kind of spark you in a spontaneous direction. Your soulmate is someone who is going to offer you expansion either firsthand or secondarily. They spark this period of reinvention within your life that honestly puts you on track to your higher purpose. It feels like you accept your higher calling after they come into your life. It's almost like they come in and everything is different. I really feel like you transform and you start to follow your true direction. Let's see what the message in the book has to say for you as well. This is insane. Straight off the cuff. Love it. That's like one of my favorite cards, and citrine quartz for me is like an abundance crystal. It's like I carry it on me to inspire me to like stay focused but also attract abundance and prosperity. So it is actually Neptune, my bad. That's not Uranus apparently, it's Neptune, which makes sense. It's the trident. I should have picked that up. All right, so we have a new force has entered into our lives. This is a force of creativity that makes everything lighter and more colorful. Our thoughts are now clear and calm, and we know how to elaborate and express what we wish to say. We know how to find solutions without being influenced by negative emotions. The state of peace that we find ourselves in is the prelude to a profound evolution. Interesting. And that is your crown chakra, Sahasrara. I got to learn how to say it better, but that's your crown chakra as well. So that's big energy. It's expansion. It's moving into new sort of, I want to say, areas. It's like the potential was there. It just wasn't tapped before, but there's big emphasis on new. Like this person entering your life, your first impression of them is that they are someone completely new that you haven't experienced before. And it's almost like they might be a bit of a dreamer. Group one, your soulmates, your first impression of your soulmate is almost that they're a bit of a dreamer. Maybe they are creative or they're expressive, but they may be unpolished in the sense of they're still finding their sense of direction, or they could just be the kind of person who is currently going through a process of reinvention. Like you may meet them at a point in their lives where they seem to be making something of themselves. Let's see what their personality traits will actually be like though. That is just your first impression, and the number 23 could be significant as well. What is Group 1's soulmate's personality traits like? What is their personality like, please, Spirit? I'm going to be pulling a few cards for this portion of your reading. Who is Group 1's soulmate? We have Shy. We have Ghost. This is someone who struggles to initiate conversation and messaging. We have Child, so someone who is still growing. Bottom deck energy here was the Lady Whisperer. Okay, so they know what to say and when to say it. I was like, this is someone who's shy. Next minute, they're a Lady Whisperer. Okay, goodness. Let's get some more. What is this person's personality like, please, Spirit? What is Group 1's soulmate's personality like? I'm being shown gentle, but it doesn't want to come out. We have Harmony, so they do seem to be somewhat balanced. I want to get more, though. I'm not really happy with that. Is that going to fit? Yes, just. I suppose I could move those over. Maybe if we do that. Oh my gosh, I just got a really strong flavor of chicken in my mouth. I don't know why, but I thought I got to share it just in case it's relevant. What is Group 1 soulmate's personality like? We have enthusiasm and leadership. I feel like this takes them a little while to embrace, though, their leadership and enthusiasm. Bottom deck energy is integrity. So they strike you as someone who has set morals, or I want to say that they have boundaries in some way with that integrity. Their personality, okay, is different to your first impression of them. Their personality is actually someone who is somewhat insecure and introverted, but your first impression of them is that they are expansive, they're explorative, they are spontaneous, they're a bit creative, and they're abundant. I feel like this person gets a bit jarred by your rose-colored glasses, and they kind of see that you see them in the best light. This person doesn't necessarily share that vision of themselves with you. I'm going to get a few more cards, and then I'll talk about their personality more, though. What is this person's personality like, please, Spirit? Group 1 soulmate, what is their personality like? Oh, my Lord, can we please? Okay, I'm going to get Watchdog, because that's definitely what I'm feeling. Very loyal person. They have like a, yeah, ooh, lasso, or lasso. It's spelled lasso, but I say lasso. Do you guys say lasso? Am I just alone in that? Am I the only one who says lasso? We have dancing shoes. We have the tongue. We have camouflage with the ghost energy, absolutely. We have bed with the lady whisperer, that makes sense. And we have guitar, which kind of makes sense with all this expressive energy. All right, so bottom deck energy here is circus. Okay, so your person's personality is actually reflecting someone who is quite introverted, someone who is quite shy, someone who is a little bit inexperienced when it comes to excuse me, I want to say relationships, but in life in general, they seem to be someone, when you meet them, who seems to be getting their grounding in terms of this lifetime. They seem to be figuring out who they are, and their personality reflects someone who still has a lot of growth to do. I think this is someone who may have like a really close relationship with a family member who seems to be a heavy influence or impact in their decision making through their years. Like they either follow this person's word for gospel, or they like to follow in this person's footsteps. It kind of feels like there's one really influential family member in this person's life who they seem to follow. Now, I do see with this shy that they are introverted. There's someone who doesn't like to reach out first. There's someone who doesn't feel comfortable in initiating something serious. And it does seem to be that they have some sort of boundary with you. Group 1 with the integrity card coming out. This is someone who has strong morals. They have a sense of fairness. They are someone who is inclusive. Even though they're shy, they are inclusive. And I feel that maybe in a social situation, for example, if you were out of your depths and kind of sitting by yourself, this is someone who may like quietly come over and check on you and see how you're doing, or they might point out to somebody else like, hey, does anybody want to check on group 1? Like they're just sitting by themselves. Maybe they're not confident enough to do it, but they definitely are very inclusive in that way. I do see that this is a quiet person who may go into hermit mode quite frequently. They may have a woman or man cave that they go into. And with the ghost here, it's almost like this person, they struggle to either feel seen, or they struggle to feel a sense of belonging. Like it's kind of this energy of they're very transient in nature. They may be someone who is in this lifetime just feeling and trying to find their home, their sense of belonging. It feels like this person is yet to discover their purpose in life at this point in time, and you seem to intercept and get to know them better, at least when they are really trying to figure out who they are and what they're meant to do. This is someone who is searching for deeper meaning in life, but they feel limited by their circumstances. So this is someone who feels like they have a structure around them that they have to use a lot of energy to break out of almost. And even though they're on a new exciting path, this is someone who sees all the limitations and boundaries instead of the possibilities. So they do have like a pessimistic side to them, but they are someone who is seeking deeper meaning. With harmony, leadership, and enthusiasm, I feel like this person is a natural born leader. I feel like they don't like to assume leadership positions because they don't seem to be someone who likes the spotlight. This is someone who kind of shies away from really big situations, or they like to take a more humble approach in the public eye. That being said, they have really strong morals and are very loyal. So I feel like they have a very strong group of friends, or they have like a really strong community around them where they may be able to let their hair down more and be more of this expressive, spontaneous person that you seem to see as your first impression. They do have like a zest for life. But they do have a pessimistic side as well. So it's kind of like with the enthusiasm here, I get that this person is passionate and I feel like they are going to be enthusiastic to get to know you, but they have this shy side of them that doesn't like initiating things. So they're like a double-edged sword here. One side is longing for experience and meaning and belonging, and the other side is plagued with pessimism and doubt and concerns over following the right footsteps and appeasing the right people. This person seems to have these boundaries that they've set in their head, and that's something that you slowly get to know when you get to know their personality better. Their friends might tell them that this is a very, like, I feel like their friends would say that this is someone who seems a bit lost in life. They don't really know what they're doing or where they're going. They seem to have a lot of potential, but they also seem to come across as inexperienced or not well evolved when it comes to certain aspects of their life. I see that this person has a very like flirtatious side to them, whether they're a lady or a woman whisperer. They have a very flirtatious side to them, and they almost like being an anarchist, but I see that they struggle to follow up with that. This person values independence, but they do have this side to them that is just like, I can't do it, I just can't do it, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve that. And it's like they're always battling that side of them and trying to be independent and free where they can and when they can. Perhaps they chose like relationships as a source of freedom as well. When we come down to these cards here, when it comes to their personality, they could be musically inclined with the guitar. They could be a very expressive person. Okay, group 1, this person could write music. They could connect with you through music. They could play you one of their songs that they really like, or you could bond through music, something about that. They could play in a band as well. That could be a very literal message as to what their personality is like. I feel like this person would listen to music with guitars, if that makes sense. So even if they like pop, it has to be pop like with guitars. There's something about guitar music that they like specifically. With the bed here, I do feel like they're very passionate, especially when it comes to you. They may come on a bit strong, and then they kind of back off and get shy, and then they come on strong, and then they back off and get shy. I'm not too sure, but it does feel like with the bed here that there is that connection, there is that passionate connection with you. I'm getting really lightheaded, and I know that that happens every time I light this candle, so I'm going to blow it out soon, but it's also the way that you seem to make them feel. This person is very like airy, here nor there around you, and there's this strong pull towards you, but there's this like fear of what you'll do to them. With the camouflage here, I feel like this person watches you quietly in the background for a long time before they actually work up the courage to talk to you. Group 1, this person seems to be someone who has a lot to say with the tongue. They may have very strong opinions as well, but more often than not, they just seem to be this observer, this person who likes to watch things from the distance. Again, that's kind of confirming that energy of going into hermit mode as well, and just sort of disappearing for some time. With the dancing shoes here, I feel like there's something to do with going out or a social scene that could be very significant to your narrative with them. It could be how you meet, or it could be how you bond. Like maybe you bond on a night out, or maybe you bond under some sort of social circumstance. I feel like this person has a fun, carefree side to them that is like not completely authentic. Like it's the side that meets all the people in their life, but they have this shy side that not a lot of people know about. And like maybe you get to see that side first and you mislabel them as this kind of person here with your first impressions card, but actually there's a whole other side to them that is much more introverted and much more insecure initially as well. A side to them that is still developing, that is still somewhat unavailable because they themselves refuse to explore it, so they won't let other people explore it either. With the lasso here, there's something about getting stuck, like really pulling something in, and I almost get that that's this energy of this connection with them. They get very stuck on you, they get very fixated on you, and it's almost like this feeling of I can't stop thinking about you that brings them back to you. There is a deep sense of loyalty with this person, and I sometimes think that their integrity may stop them from getting the things that they actually want. Like it takes a long time for this person to separate their head and their heart, and for them to understand what they're truly feeling versus what potentially they think is right. I kind of get that this person overthinks a lot of things, especially because they have a lot of time to themselves, especially if they're musically inclined. They may just really vibe into their music and get into this really depressive energy. And it's like, come on, we've got a whole world out there. Remember, you're spontaneous, you're a traveler, you're looking for your home's trying to find you as well. But every now and then they just kind of get into this vibe of, no, I just want to mellow out to my sad boy music. Like, oh my goodness. But with that watchdog, I feel like eventually when this person actually lets you in, they're going to be very loyal and very stuck on you. So let's get some tarot really quickly. What else can you tell us about how Group 1 is going to meet their soulmate? How is Group 1? Oh my days, that was in the best shuffle. Got a little stuck in the middle there. Let me try it again. Okay. How is Group 1 going to meet their soulmate spirit? How is Group 1 going to meet their soulmate? How is Group 1 going to meet their soulmate? How is Group 1 going to meet their soulmate? Oh, hello. It's our favorite Capricorn card, the Devil. Oh, and the Strength card. Okay, this person has a very strong energy, okay? Oh my Lord. And they're saying that you do as well. The Queen of Wands at the bottom. The two of you are drawn into each other's lives. Like, you're not expecting each other with the Queen of Wands in reverse. You don't mean to come in, but when you do, it's just like instant recognition with the Knight of Cups. I do sense boundaries and barriers, so I'm a little confused about that instant recognition, but I'll clarify it once I get all the cards out. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. That was the Four of Pentacles reversed. We have the Strength card upright. We have the Devil card upright. We have the Three of Cups. Yes, there's that Night Out energy. We have the Six of Wands reversed. Okay, this is interesting with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh my gosh. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is giving me hippie sabotage, wrong time energy. Perhaps this connection with them takes a bit of work, group one, because this person, someone here enters the equation with rose-tinted glasses, and it's not a bad way, but it's falling in love with potential rather than reality. And I feel that this magnetism towards each other is entirely uncontrollable. Like, you can't choose who or what you're attracted to necessarily in this case. But there's something about it where it's like a big no, like, don't go there, don't go there. Integrity, morals, loyalty, don't go there. And initially it's almost like a bedroom situation. Like, I feel like someone comes on really strong and it's uncharacteristic and it's a little bit jarring because it's kind of like, where did that come from? I feel like there is instant recognition with the Knight of Cups. There's a desire to be playful and to sort of go for something, but the Knight of Cups isn't a completely like guns blazing, you're mine, I'm going to grab what I want. Like, it's very slow. The Knight of Cups is a shy energy. It's a timid energy. It takes a while to build up to this. So you meet this person in circumstances that almost don't warrant that energy, but the energy is there, okay? There's this energy of wanting romance, of wanting to get to know each other, of playfully like flirting and this sort of thing. But it's almost like with the Four of Pentacles reversed, someone isn't quite ready to open up. It takes a lot of effort. And I feel like with the Seven of Cups, this leaves to confusion. It almost feels like we weren't expecting this, okay? We have to kind of steal private moments away from this situation to kind of understand how we feel about this, because it leaves us feeling a little bit imbalanced. We're going, well, what the hell is happening here? There's something about you that makes this person feel like they're losing control, and I think they do that for you as well. That's the nature of a soulmate energy. It's supposed to be natural, it's supposed to be organic, and when you try to resist it, that's when it starts to feel bad. And that's what seems to happen here. With the Strength card, there is a lot of power, there's a lot of pull to one another, there's a lot of Leo energy here as well. But with that kind of being over the Wheel of Fortune, I wasn't meant to make these clarifying messages, but that's a lot of fiery energy, Leo and Sagittarius, and this person is denying them that opportunity. I almost feel like there's this playful game of like cat and mouse that's almost unspoken. It's all energetic. It's this feeling of pushing and pulling, and there's some confusion here, but there's also like clarity in like, this is what I'm attracted to, but I don't know how to get it. And I feel like maybe the two of you steal a private moment. It almost feels like you meet in a social situation that you make private. I don't know how. Like, maybe it's at work for some of you with the Devil and the Four of Pentacles. Maybe it's in a community with the Three of Cups and the Seven of Cups. Maybe it's like a serious situation with the Wheel of Fortune reversed and the Six of Wands reversed, but for whatever reason it seems like you're not supposed to do this there, or there's boundaries here for some reason. And with this Devil, I do feel like this is a tempting situation. The feeling of temptation is there. This person's kind of like reaching out their hand, and that's how they are depicting you, group one, is someone who is tempting them to do something that is potentially against where their loyalty lies. With the Three of Cups, this person sees you as a temptation. That I don't think so, but they could have been in like another relationship when they met you, or they could just have a strong loyalty to friends and you're in a relationship with their friends. I'm not too sure, but it kind of feels like there's this energy of like, I can't, but I really, really want to. And this person has to exercise a lot of strength in order to hold back with that Wheel of Fortune reversed. The Wheel of Fortune reversed coming out in a soulmate reading, it feels like the right person, wrong time. So you guys do meet in a situation that you're almost not ready for. Someone is very shy. The feelings are there instantly. There's an instant recognition of, wow, this person is very special. But there's also an instant barrier up of going, I can't. And it's all a lie with the Eight of Swords reversed. It's not a real barrier. The limit does not exist, but it's something that is unspoken but yet energetically placed. This barrier of saying, I can't, I want to, but I can't. And it immediately sparks confusion. Even though the feelings are real, the mind is overthinking the feelings, which leads to a feeling of being unsuccessful and meeting the right person at the wrong time. I almost feel with the Six of Wands here that there's like this desire to steal private moments in a public setting. So I'm going to quickly ask before we get some tissue box messages. What is the turning point in this connection, Spirit? How does this group come into union with their soulmate? Do they come into union? What is the turning point in this connection for group 1, please, Spirit? Some sort of patience. What is the turning point in this connection, please, Spirit, with group 1 and their soulmate? What is the turning point? Oopsie daisy. What's on the ground? I'm always dropping things. What's on the ground? Oh no. Oh my gosh, you're not going to believe there's like so many cards on the ground. Okay, we're going to quick fire then. Spirit's got a lot of messages apparently. We have the Hanged One at the back, a change of perspective. That's honestly the only way this is going to change. This person is just like, I can't do it. I simply can't. I can't do it. It's not why I'm here. I'm not this kind of person. I'm not allowed to do this. I have morals. I have integrity. And it's like, well, there's nothing immoral about this situation. Love is love in this case, group 1, but your person comes on with these boundaries that don't really exist. So the Hanged Man is saying that the turning point is when this person learns to balance their fear, they balance their energy, they allow good things to come into their lives, they allow their mind to be optimistic in a way where the path isn't blocked anymore with the Two of Wands reversed. They have to clear something in their life. It's almost like they were feeding things that weren't going to thrive. They have to overcome a lot of their inner fears in order for this connection to work. It's the kind of connection where, and it might be a small period, I'm going to be honest, it doesn't have to be like a hell of a journey, this kind of thing. It can be as simple as choosing to go yes instead of no. That simple, but it does feel like a big inner struggle before change is reflected externally. So the two of you come into union once you do let your guards down, and it could be mirrored energy. You could be both holding showing a strong face, but feeling a wave of emotions beneath the surface. It does lead to something that is reliant and I want to say reliable and worthy of investing in with the Knight of Pentacles, but the turning point is seeing the value that you have to offer. Maybe this person labels themselves as an immature child when no, they actually do have worth, like they have value. Like people want to be in a relationship with them. You want to have them a part of your lives. It's almost like you have to recognize your worth in order for this to come together. With the Knight of Cups reversed, I do get that these feelings have to be recognized. They can't just be pushed down and pushed aside. Obviously, in order for this connection to work, whether you choose platonic connection moving forward or a romantic, your soulmate has to kind of overcome this desire to suppress their feelings, and it does show up later in these cards as well. But the Seven of Wands reverse is that feeling of overcoming an energetic challenge, and in this case they're only fighting themselves. They have to be their best ally rather than their worst enemy. With the King of Wands, the Queen of Swords, how did I get that so messed up? This is the Queen of Swords and I said the King of Wands. With the Queen of Swords here, it feels like this person has to have a difficult conversation, but they have to be honest and they have to be diplomatic in how they choose to approach the situation. So it feels like the two of you need to have an honest discussion that may come at a time when there hasn't been a heck of a lot of communication. There's a confusing energy of, well, what are they going to say? What do they think of me? How do they see me now? Do they even feel the same way anymore? You kind of need to go out on a limb here, and the two of you need to have this conversation in order to truly get the true facts, because I'm getting a lot of peeping energy. I'm getting this energy of just kind of checking up on this person on social media and and like trying to spy on you and getting like third party sort of information, like through mutual friends of, well, what are they up to now? Well, that's interesting, but not really coming to the source. And you can't get honest information until that path changes, which is kind of what the Knight of Swords is here for. I do see quick change in communication style. I see this being jolty at first, but ultimately what this jolted, a little bit like, what's that word, like junky, where not junky, what is it, like clunky, this clunky communication leads to an outpouring of honest feelings that aren't masked, that aren't manipulated anymore, because I feel like this person was holding a lot back, and potentially you as well. Honestly, once communication is initiated again in a way where you're seeking the truth comes out on both sides, and it allows for the two of you to see things from the other person's perspective. It allows the two of you to kind of take this down from the pedestal that you've put each other on, because I see that you've put this person on a bit of a pedestal. You've seen them for their best traits, and at a time where all they can see is their worst. And so there is this disconnect energetically of you starting to fall for someone who doesn't technically exist right now. This person's thoughts create their reality, and they're creating someone who is a child, who is immature, who is unavailable, who is insecure, and you're seeing them for who they are meant to be, but not right now. So there kind of needs to be this honest conversation about feelings and perception and the truth in order for the two of you to get on the same page, with the Lovers reversed. And with the Three of Wands, it potentially comes after a long period of waiting or allowing each other to develop different paths before you can come back together. There is this energy of expansion. I do feel that your relationship may be at a long distance for some of you for some period of time, or it could just be talking about this absence in communication where you're having to trust that when the time is right, the right person will return. But I do feel with the Three of Wands that whatever this is, it leads to expansion in your connection that is mutual and that you both want. With the Seven of Pentacles reversed, it does feel like you wait a long time before this happens, but it also feels like it is worth investing in because it leads to your true path. It leads to this energy of aligning with your higher purpose, your true purpose. And that was what the first card did tell me. This person comes into your life to show you where you may have been potentially investing energy or time or money or attention into things that weren't worthy of your time and energy. We only have this one life with this, conscious mind. So I feel like this person awakens you to the truth of your circumstances and helps you invest your energy wisely in this lifetime. So let's get some more personality traits and information. Group 1, please, Spirit. Who is their soulmate? Oh, wow. Why did y'all have to get so much? Okay, where are we going to start? Let's move that over there. There's something about singing here, too, with that tongue, mouth, or talking. I feel like this person, something that they say to you is very pivotal from the beginning. Like, maybe it's that energy of you had me at hello, Like, that's what I'm hearing. There's a really, like, slick side to this person that is really suave and fresh. And you're surprised to know that they're actually quite introverted because you could just see this slick person. All right, so in terms of initials, they could be yours or theirs, first, middle, last name. We have an I. I heard Ignatius, so that's interesting. We have an L. That's I just heard my own name, Lorraine. We also have a Q. Oh, I heard quiet again, so I do think this person's quite quiet. We have a D, and I'm actually hearing Daffy or Donald Duck. So I don't know, does old school Looney Tunes ring a bell? We have a Y here. I just heard that song, It Had to Be You. Do, 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 do. I just realized we have the Knight of Cups twice as well. So it's almost like this feeling of romanticizing something that needs to be brought down to earth, like this honest conversation about truth. How do you truly feel? How do you truly see me? What do you truly want? This energy. We have an E. We also have an R. We also have an H or an H. I heard house. So maybe you meet this person in someone's home. Well, especially if you're going to meet them soon, it's probably going to be in a house. We have a C, or is that a G? No, it's a C. Choices, and I think you got choices over here, and that kind of makes sense with the Seven of Cups. Choices. So, gosh, when you meet this person, they may have choices or you may have choices. There's just this confusion over like where to from here. And the turning point is this honest conversation, but it comes after a long period of needing to battle that inner fear. We have G over here, which makes me think of gorgeous. We have another L, so double letters, first, middle, last name. We have another H. Again, double letters. We have another R, double letters, double L, double R, double H. Wow, we have very soon. So Spirit's saying that if you haven't met this person yet, you're going to meet them very soon. Quickly, just want to clarify, what does that mean for those of them who have already met this person, please? Does that mean they may come into union with this person very soon? Question mark. Does that mean they may come into union with this person very soon? I'm terrified. Okay, so very soon you could have the opportunity to speak to them, to end a long period of silence and to correct wrongful impressions or misplaced truths. I feel like it wasn't about lying, it was about not asking the right questions, not having serious enough conversations, not having enough alone time to actually talk about the truth as well. For those of you that resonate with that friendship situation of like friends maybe complicating the situation, we also have learning, which kind of solidifies that energy of like aligning with your truth after meeting this person. We also have happiness, so that's nice because there seems to be challenges in the middle. So it's good to know that this connection leads to you feeling a lot of happiness around them. That tells me that your soulmate is someone who overall they make you feel good. Like there may be challenges in the beginning of trying to figure out what you both want and whether you both feel the same way, but I do see that most of your experiences with this person are lead to happy experiences and happy memories, happy energies, feeling of general happiness. We have you already know, so most of you have already met this person and you're going to have an opportunity to end a tough cycle of either non-communication or strained communication. We have choices coming up again, so you could be at that Three of Wands situation now where you're looking at the horizon and wondering where this investment of energy is going to take you. We have Earth, so they could be an Earth sign. And if you would like to purchase your own tissue box messages, I do sell them on my website. Do be sure to click the link down below. They're only $5. We have maybe. So I kind of see, listen, there's a lot of indecision, a lack of clarity, and this illusionary boundary that leads to, I'm sorry I'm using a lot of big words, but it leads to this inability to see the truth here. There's all this confusion because the right conversations weren't had in the beginning, in the sense of it's not that anybody was lying, it's just that people weren't asking the right questions, people weren't seizing the right opportunities, people weren't taking advantage of the options or the opportunities they had with one another. And maybe you didn't know, like how are you supposed to 100% see that far ahead? Maybe you didn't realize that you were going to be in this predicament and you just assumed that you would have another opportunity in the near future, and then that opportunity didn't happen. And for some of you there was a long period of absence. For others of you it could have just been a little while of needing to give each other space and figure each other out. But it does feel with that maybe like confusion causes a lot of delay in this connection. That's almost unnecessary, but that's my observing opinion based on the energy that I'm feeling. It feels like in hindsight it could have been a lot easier, but you can only do the best you can with the information that you have, and that's something that helps the two of you heal, is remembering that about each other. We have the third house coming out with the Three of Cups, which tells me there is a shared community. Siblings could be a factor here in the sense of maybe they're a sibling's friend, or they know your siblings, or vice versa. That sort of third house of community, and I want to say communication as well, which is one of the words I put on that card. It feels like communication is lighthearted, playful, and it's just fun in the beginning, and then it's all of a sudden a blockage, and then it's all of a sudden a strain, and then it's all of a sudden a challenge, and then all of a sudden it's such a big feat to overcome again. And this new cycle is what really gets the ball moving. We have Gemini kind of confirming that energy, but they could be a Gemini. We also have Scorpio coming out, the energy of transformation and also stubbornness. Let's be real, there's stubborn energy there. I want to get more signs, so let's see. We also have Cancer, so cardinal energy, 2 water signs, 1 air. We also have the first house of first impressions as well as new self. So I do feel like the first impression was pivotal in you recognizing this person, but I don't think it was an accurate portrayal into who they are. I do see as well with the second house here that this person and you potentially, this connection helps you work on your self-esteem and helps you build your sense of self, as well as it is this feeling of aligning with what actually matters. Like, do these material goals make me feel good about myself? Do I just need them to validate myself now? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Like, there is this feeling of gaining a self-esteem through value and material things as well. We have root chakra indicating there was some sort of powerful transformation beginning when this person came into your life, or vice versa. With the crown chakra here, I feel like there was a spiritual recognition. You did see each other and know each other. The heart chakra is amplifying that your hearts were beating as one, but I do feel like one person shut it down and the other person was forced to kind of examine, like, am I crazy? Why do I feel this way? It does feel like one person put up really firm boundaries and said they can't do that, and so they maybe took a little time out, or just sort of took a lot longer to come around and trust how they were feeling. With the 8th house coming out, that's that period of transformation we're talking about as well. It almost feels like something in this person's life has to end in order for them to embrace their truth, which is also inadvertently you. Like, you coming into their life seems to show them what they've been denying themselves as well, like what they've been potentially stopping themselves from having as well. This person seems to have been focusing on the wrong things in life, and maybe not enough on what they truly want. Maybe this person put family needs first, or money first, or appearances first, and you coming in really changed that for them. Group 1. With the 9th house here, there's this energy of Sagittarius again, expansion, risk. This person could be a foreigner as well. They could look very different to you. This person could be well traveled, or they could have a adventurous streak to them that wants to travel. Maybe you talk about traveling, and I just get this energy of you see their potential, and that's something that they don't fully see at the time that you meet them. So, what do I want to do? I think I'm going to have to cut it there. Group 1, I don't want to do that. Let's get you some more channeled messages, and then we'll cut your reading. This is going to be really long, but it's been very detailed. Group 1, what is, yeah. I was going to say, what is one of the first things that this person will say to you? How will you recognize them? What are one of the first things that your soulmate will say to you? Yeah, this person's a dreamer. They may share their dreams with you. There's this energy of confusion. They may talk to you about something that confuses them, or that leads them to feeling very unsure. Like, there's this energy of how do you know type of energy. There's this feeling of now is not the time that's coming out. And with that being reversed, there is this potential for the wheel to be turning upright. You two have a conversation about selfishness. You have this conversation about, well, is it selfish to do this, or should I be more selfish? Am I just too kind? Or there's this energy of talking about looking after yourself in a way that is healthy, in a way that is having healthy boundaries, and potentially doing that for the first time. I'm getting an energy of someone maybe a real giver here, big heart, and the other person's a little bit of a boundary hogger, has to draw the line in the sand because they don't have a heck of a lot. So one of the first conversations you have could be about being selfish. We also have think before you act. So you could be the one to tell this person oh, I don't actually trust my actions, or maybe I don't necessarily trust you, or I have to really think before I act in this situation. We have I just wish things were different. So the two of you may talk about each other's goals, dreams. You might have a talk about where you're at in terms of your study or your career, what you do for work, and how you want to expand that in the future. We have the 10 of Cups here, so there's a real sense of devotion in you. and this person. Potentially one of you seems to really highlight loving energies and how devoted you are, whereas I do feel that there's a more reserved and shy energy here that is a bit more sort of either inexperienced in that kind of big sort of family love, or they just don't really feel comfortable in opening up like that. But one person seems to really sort of wear their heart on their sleeve and come across as a very like family orientated, big heart, big love energy. And we also have I just want space. So this could be indicating travel, a discussion about moving, a discussion about moving away or moving back, a feeling of needing to take action for yourself, for peace. So that could be something around the lines of your first conversation with them and how you sort of get to know them. Group 1, that's what I see for you. That's who your soulmate is. Now listen, you do have many, 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 many soulmates in one lifetime. There is this idea that you have one soulmate that apparently you will spend a majority of your life with. Some of us are lucky enough to have our divine counterparts who are incarnated in our lifetime specifically to guide us towards our true purpose. Please use this reading as something that helps you, but remember that it is general. Don't force anything to fit. Take what resonates, leave the rest for somebody else. Thank you so much for all of your support, Group 1, and I can't wait to see you in another video. Bye! Hi, Group 2, and welcome. If you chose this beautiful, it makes me so happy to hold this. I don't know why, I just love it so much. I think it's a granite rock, I'm not too sure. I love collecting little rocks, and I found this on the beach and it's been with me ever since. So if you chose that little precious special little guy, then this is going to be your reading. Group 2, I'm so excited to see you. Like, oh my days, my energy just went bam. Anyway, goodness, I'm wearing very comfortable clothes for this reading. I hope that we can get as much information as we can around who your soulmate is. Okay, directly Group 1, you're Group 2. First of all, maybe they're a very chatty person, or they come across, or they bring out a chatty side in you. They could have Gemini in their charts. When I get like this, it's because I'm being triggered by air sign energy. So we've got a lot to cover. Let's get straight into it. What is your first impression of your soulmate going to be? Let's have a look. Oh, natural agate, the number 2, Venus, and the heart chakra. I need to calm down. Gosh, you're making me blush. Okay, so maybe this person, someone here, when the two of you meet, and I have to keep it general because apparently I've been reversing energies lately, which is super interesting. I've been channeling divine masculine energy lately. I really do feel with this natural agate and the way that this card makes me feel with the heart and the 2 and the Venus, there is an energy of kindred recognition. You two feel each other's kindred energy. One of you is more excited about this than the other. I have to say that one person is feeling a little bit standoffish and I want to say peacocky, like they're not too keen to, they're holding their cards close to their chest, but they do feel it as well. Whereas the other person comes across as really like, I'm blushing, and I feel like this is someone's energy of like just talking too much, feeling a little bit like, blah, 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 blah. What am I even saying? This is just word vomit at this time. And just like sore cheeks from smiling so much. Like my eyes are ready to water. I haven't smiled like this in a long time. So thank you so much for gracing my energy, Group 2. But I also feel like with the 2 on here and the heart chakra and Venus's energy of harmony and beauty and nurture, it feels like there's this instant feeling of compatibility and kindredship. Like you two feel like you fit well together. The 2 of you kind of feel like even if one person is pretending to be more macho than they truly feel, there's a strong energy here of like, I like the attention you're giving me, and I like the way you deliver this attention too. Like, oh, it feels good. It feels really good. It feels like flirty and just fun, and like, you know, those early days where you're just trying to gauge like your chemistry with that person, so you're just kind of being really friendly and seeing like who's gonna drop the first line. That's what it kind of feels like. That's so cute. All right, let's get some personality traits. So that's your first impression of them, is that there's this really sort of warmth energy there where you just want to be around them more. You like the attention you get from them, whether you resonate as the super chatty person who can't seem to stop themselves from talking and just feels really like excited and oh, or whether you resonate as the person who's being a bit cool and reserved and peacocky. Like, this is someone who pretends that they don't care, but they really, really do. Like, they get a hell of a lot out of this experience. It's like a massive ego boost, and it's also this feeling of, wow, this is like a good looking person, and they're kind of funny too. Like, what? All right, let's see what your soulmate's personality is like, group 2. What is group 2's soulmate's personality like? What is group 2's soulmate's personality like? What are they? Ooh, hey, wow, they got a lot going on. Let's not. We got a lot to cover too. Please, just very clearly, what is group 2's personality, soulmate like? Oh, yes, yep. Can I get 2 more cards, please? Just two, maybe 3. There's 1. I'm scared now. Maybe we're gonna get too many. Oh. What is group 2's soulmate's personality like? What is group 2's soulmate's personality like? Very clearly, please, and preferably 2 cards. What is group 2's soulmate's personality like? What is group 2? Oh, I knew it. I knew it. All right. This is interesting, though. I think I got to take it. Bottom deck energy is broken. Oh, my heart. Whoa, okay, so that says that this person has been through it, okay? Maybe this person has experienced loss, group 2. Your person's personality is a reflection of the things that they've had to overcome. This person has been through something very, very real in their lifetime, whether that's the loss of a loved one, whether that's carrying significant amount of responsibility from a young age, having to parent themselves from a young age potentially, having to really assume a high level of responsibility for whatever reason. This person is someone who seems to come across as, like, when people who know them well see this person as someone who is like constantly battling something here, okay? Now, I just want to lay these out, and then I'm going to not make it look too pretty because we're going to be touching and showing you everything. So that could be taken really wrongly. Oh my God, I feel like that's what your conversation with this person is like, touching and showing you everything. Oh my gosh, I want to keep this close. Look at this, rhodochrosite. That's the energy. There's so much warmth here, and regardless of this person's past and what they are overcoming and what they may be through and the cycles with their mental health, they do have a very funny side to them, and I think they do make you laugh, group 2. This person presents as a bit weird, potentially immature because of that mouth, if they're the chatty one who can't control what they're saying. They are a nice person, though. They come across as somewhat accomplished. They do have a stable side to them. I think that do kind of throw them off balance when they meet you and they get a bit woo. But this strikes me as someone who is nice. Like, they, on paper, look like a nice person, and people who don't know them well will say, oh yeah, I know your soulmate. They're a very nice guy. They're a very nice gal. Looking at caretaker over here, that's giving me the energy of responsibility. This person may have a child, group 2, or they may be someone who had to parent from a young age, younger siblings, for example, or growing up in a household like with a grandparent and lots of cousins, that sort of energy. They could be someone who grew up in an unconventional household, like a single parent, and they had to sort of chip in, regardless of whether they were the oldest or the youngest. They just seem to be someone who is a caretaker in one form or another. They could be currently looking after a loved one, for example, and caring for them. I do just generally get this energy of them having a big heart that sometimes stops them from balancing out their own emotions. Like, potentially this is the kind of person who receives a sense of validation through helping others, and they forget to prioritize themselves in the process as well. Over here with the Lady Whisperer, there is this like flirtatious side to them that you get to see, but they don't get to show that to a lot of people, is what I'm getting. This is a side to them that isn't advertised on the streets. They don't come across as someone, like, most people would say that this person is a nice, funny person. They wouldn't say that this person is like out here flirting with everyone and anyone. I think that in general, though, there is an energetic energy here where the two of you just like bounce off each other really well. There's a kindred energy. That's what I was feeling. 2 hearts are beating together. Is that Kylie Minogue? 2 hearts? you guys need to listen to that song. It's literally like your first impression of this person. 2 hearts. With child here, there is an energy of this person's developing. Like maybe they had to grow up too fast and they have to go back and reteach themselves some things in order to mature in certain areas where they were forced to just skip overnight. There is an inexperienced nature to this person's personality as well, and you may not see that initially. It may take a bit of time for you to fully appreciate that side of them. With the nerd here, they are very, very smart, and that also is a clear indication as to their humor as well. They say that some of the funniest people in this world are people who have very high IQs, so they could just be a very smart person as well. I kind of get that they do have an analytical side to them though. Like there's something about their communication style. Either they have the tendency to just word vomit around you, or they kind of come across as saying things that isn't necessarily a true reflection of their intelligence. Like, how do I word this? It's kind of like they have these moments where they say like goofy little things that sound so silly, and this sounds so horrible, and I don't mean to, but this is the only way I can describe it. It's like they have a blonde moment, you know, like those sorts of energies where they say something that is potentially a little bit like silly. Like it might be them saying like, what are you talking about? Strawberries grow in trees. They don't grow in the soil. And you've got to be like, no, like they grow on little plants that like little tiny, almost like vines. They grow in little bushes. Like, haven't you ever seen? So they kind of have these goofy little moments, and they are very humble. Like they're the kind of person that can laugh about these things. Yeah, but they come across as someone who is analytical, and potentially what they say isn't always like, they talk like what I'm doing now. Okay, the answer is here and I'm over here doing this. That's how they talk. Instead of getting straight to the point, they dance around the topic, and they stumble over their words, and they take little tangents, and they tell you the whole backstory, and they definitely have Gemini somewhere in their charts. That's all I can say. With the struggling musician over here, they could have a dream or an endeavor that they're working on that is taking a little while to get off the ground. You may be meeting them at a time when they really, really, really want to be famous, but they don't know how to. Or they really, 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 really want to work for Elon Musk, but they live in Australia. Like they just need to like create practical plans towards this goal. I'm just getting that they do have big dreams. They're very smart, but they kind of seem to just drift as well. Goodness me. Let's get more personality traits, shall we? Because I feel like I just butchered a lot of who they truly are. They're a difficult energy. And remember, you got so many cards too. So I can see why initially Spirit wanted to take so many out, because I feel like you need to... They're a complicated energy, and first impressions are accurate in the sense of that kindred energy, but there is so much more to this person, and there's a lot that they internalize, is what I can tell you. This person is a Pandora's box inside a Pandora's box. They have a lot that they internalize. Group 2, please, Spirit. What is their soulmate's personality like? What is Group 2's soulmate's personality like? Yes. Yes. What else? What is Group 2's... Oh my goodness, I just lost your other cards in that. Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we're just going to take those. Bottom deck energy is strength, Group 2. So they're a very strong person. They have a strong heart. They have a strong head. Apparently they're physically strong as well. But I feel like they're building something. That's what they're talking about. I feel like internally they're building something. And maybe a lot of people don't believe in this goal that they have. Because it's struggling musician, I feel like this person is... almost unable to connect the dots in their life, because they kind of fall into what other people see them as. Like they forget that they are a musician. They listen to people saying that they're a struggling musician. And you know, when you hear something for long enough, you start to believe it's true. Like the butterfly effect. Oh no, sorry, it's the Mandela effect. This energy of like, if someone repeats that thing enough times, you start to believe that it's the truth. We have care here, confirming that they're a very kind, caring person. We have discipline over here, confirming that they do carry a lot of responsibility. They potentially work very hard as well towards their goals. We have integrity over here, saying that this person has strong morals. They're a very fair person. I feel like they also just value who they are, and even though they may have had harsh or strict or hard upbringing, they do actually have a strong devotion and sense of loyalty to where they come from. Even if they come from, poverty, they still have a strong sense of loyalty to where they come from. That's their roots. We have compassion here. So I do feel like this person's heart is honestly their biggest prize. Like, they are such a big-hearted, kind, loving person, and everyone around them will say that as well. Like, they're genuinely nice. They're genuinely funny. They're a bit weird. They're a bit different. But ultimately, they're a very big-hearted person. What else can you tell us about Group 2's soulmate's personality, please, Spirit? What else can you tell us about Group 2's soulmate's personality? Oh, okay. Okay, competitive, apparently. Maybe you feel like you got to compete with them. I don't know. Maybe you guys compete at something? Competitive. What? What is Group 2's soulmate's personality like? Group 2's soulmate's personality like? I got so tongue twisted. What is Group 2's soulmate's personality like? Okay, that's probably enough because I like to talk as well. Resurrection. They're someone who just keeps on keeping on. This is someone who did have to go through a lot. They may have had to resurrect themselves in this lifetime multiple times, I'm hearing. Multiple times. This is the kind of person who has been through something, judgment energy, okay? They awoke to their truth, potentially gained faith through their hardship and decided they weren't going to give up. This is someone who has overcome something pretty big in their lifetime. It is either a feeling of loss, or it's almost like a feeling of not going to play into the narrative anymore. I'm not going to be just another statistic. I'm not going to be another person's stereotype. I'm not going to be just my race or just my skin color or just my socio-demographic. Like, I'm not just going to be this person from this postcode. I'm going to be more than that. And a lot of people don't see that becoming true. Like, this person is limited by their circumstances, but they do have a beautiful big heart that creates a sense of stability and warmth in a very harsh environment. We have a river over here, so I feel like this person's energy is constant. There's an energy here of not giving up. Like, they have discipline towards their goals, and they work hard for what they have in their life as well. Group 2. We have the moon here, so that energy of internalizing a lot. This person has a lot riding underneath the surface that they don't share with a lot of people, so don't feel bad if they take a while to open up to you. Group 2, even though you're a soulmate, it's just taken them a long time to feel like they can trust anybody in this life. I feel like they internalize a lot of these things as a form of protecting themselves, because in the past they were put in a position where they had to be their own caretaker potentially. With the egg here, I do feel like they have a soft center and a hard shell. I feel like this person's personality is a reflection of them needing to be protective, but it's also this feeling of they haven't yet fully realize their potential. Like, the egg is like the starting point, isn't it? Surely it's this feeling of hatching into something. An egg could just be an egg, or it could fulfill its purpose and become something more. So I feel like you come into this person's life when they are a struggling musician, and they're still trying to embrace who they are and what they're meant to be, and the fact that they're meant to be more than their circumstances reflect. With the wizard here, they are potentially creating something. They could be a very creative person, a very powerful person in their lifetime, a very influential person in their lifetime. Group 2. I feel like this person could be very, very influential. They could end up creating something very big, or being in the position to influence a lot of people. With the universe here, they feel like they're expanding. They have a very aware energy of being woke, like whatever that means for you, whether that's spiritually woke or socially and politically woke, or just being like woke in the community and being aware of like the way things work, like street smart. That's book smart versus street smart. Maybe this person can't recite all of, you know, your nation's prime ministers or presidents, but they can tell you how to make it through the city without getting killed. Like that sort of energy. They feel like they're very woke. Like this is someone who does have a introspective side, as well as a retrospective side. They internalize a hell of a lot, and to distract themselves from their pain, they like to look at the bigger picture. This person may be curious about other cultures, other places, different sorts of food. They may be someone who likes to explore strange concepts, conspiracy theories. They like to look at things from different perspectives. They like to look at the bigger picture energy. There may be someone who does want to travel but struggles to see how they can do that based on their means and what they currently have. With the sunken ship here, there's more of that energy of suppression, as well as this energy of you need to kind of put in the work to get to know somebody like this. They don't just open up for everybody. Not a lot of people get to see that softer, true ooey gooey core to this person. With the graveyard here, I feel like this person's energy gets resurrected in the time that you know them. Potentially the person you meet initially is different to the person who you fall in love with. It's not that they become a completely different person. It's more that they develop into who they truly are meant to be. It's like you help them bury the parts of themselves that they no longer want to cling to, this false sense of ego and what I want myself to look like and how I want to present myself versus who I truly am, and how strong and courageous I am to be this truth, to be this true person. With the waterfall here, I do feel like emotions flow easily with this person. Potentially one person is more comfortable with expressing emotion than the other person. Your soulmate is someone who, when they do open up, when they do trust, it all comes out. Like I really do see you being a rock in this person's life, where they tell you things they've never told anybody else before. And with the airplane here, distance at one time could play an issue in your connection, but I see more so that the two of you are going to want to start doing these bucket list items, the things that your person dreams about doing. You're going to help them create practical plans towards these dreams. You're potentially going to travel a lot with this person. I'm seeing that this relationship is going to take both of your lives, your experiences, to new heights. There's this energy of experiencing things in different ways with one another. With the wrestling ring here, I feel like there's a competitive energy. Either you have this or they have this or your relationship has this, but there's this competitive energy here. There's a competitive streak, and maybe one or both of you feels like you have to one-up the other. Like, you're my soulmate, but I'm the provider. You know, like that kind of energy. Someone has that energy, and it's not supposed to be a competition. Like, it's just supposed to be... But it's helpful because you're both wanting the best for each other. That's your way of developing and pushing each other to each other's limits in this lifetime. With the Inferno here, I see it being very explosive. I see it leading to a lot of brand new beginnings. And there's this energy of like sparks fly with the two of you. Like you two don't care. You're the kind of couple who you kind of forget that you're in a room with other people at times. And maybe you just get like lost in your little shenanigans because you're so wrapped up in each other's energy. Like I don't see it being like overtly inappropriate. For some of you, you're that kind of couple that's just all over each other, but for others of you, like you forget that you're supposed to be entertaining people and you two are just going off into your own little tangent in the corner playing Pictionary and inside jokes galore, and the people are just like, what the hell is going on? Like, should we just leave? Should we just leave these two alone? With the shield here, I see that this person is very protective. They're very protective of you. When they love fiercely, and they love with the intention of protecting the people that they love as well. So let's move forward. Let's see how you will meet this person. So group 2, please. Oh my days. Me and my flamboyant shuffling. How will group 2 meet their soulmate? Oh, I love your energy. Oh my gosh. It's just so like, ooh. It's really like giggly and my eyes are finna water again, which is crazy. Oh my goodness. Group 2. How do they meet their soulmate? How does group 2 meet their soulmate, please, Spirit? Oh, okay. Unexpectedly. Oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know why I'm apologizing either. Is that what happens? Do y'all just bump into each other and then one person's apologizing for no reason? I made a promise to myself to not apologize if I don't have to. Oh, look at this. Can I get any more cards? Thank you. Bottom deck energy is the Seven of Pentacles. So one of you is single for a long time before you meet this person, or it feels like you haven't had a lot of action. It feels like you've been sort of quiet and not a heck of a lot going on in your life before you meet this person. Okay. Let us get some cards. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. With the Seven of Pentacles, it's been a long time. One of you is waiting a very long time when this comes in. The other one of you could be working on something like a study goal or an employment goal or something like that. You could be growing something in your life, literally, or like metaphorically when it comes to your finances and your career path. But I feel like it's been a long period of waiting for one of you, of being very single. With the Ten of Swords here, you meet this person at the end of a really tough cycle. I feel like this is a period where you're having to change up your routine, you're having to change your circumstances, you're having to change the way that you choose to do things. You're potentially like challenging yourself and doing things that you wouldn't normally do, extending yourself out of a comfort zone type of energy. But something that happened in your past is still fresh and there's still a slight level of pain there. It feels like you're trying to liberate yourself by pushing yourself out of a comfort zone, but there does still seem to be a level of pain there. We have the Knight of Wands. This pain could also just be responsibility as well. With this Knight of Wands, there is an unexpected energy about this. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of come here, please, let me get to know you better. But there's also just this playful energy of, well, actually, I don't know you that well. Like, back off a little bit. It's really fun, if I'm honest. Like, it's so cute. Oh, if I was witnessing something like this, I would just be like, oh, in the corner, just like clapping. Oh, it's just the energy that this collective needs. It's very wholesome and it's very playful. I want to say that you meet this person at a situation like either you're traveling or you're just not expecting them. There's something quite spontaneous about this energy, and it kind of puts you in a good mood instantly. Like, there's no sort of feeling of being awkward. It's this real feeling of like an ego boost, and your energy is just instantly like zoop, 100% battery. We also have the Tower, which is confirming that unexpected element. The Tower is an energy influenced by Mars, so it's kind of a really intense energy. It comes on strong and it comes on quickly. It also leaves you with a first impression, like a memorable first impression. So I feel like your first time you meet this person is quite memorable. Like, you don't forget them easily. There's someone that you struggle to stop thinking about after you first meet them. They're in your mind for quite some time after you first meet them. Potentially this person coming in changes a lot of things about you, and there may be a little bit of like a laser focus on them after you first meet them. I do feel like them coming in changes something about your circumstances as well. Like, potentially this person's energy in your life impacts other areas of your life. Like, things start to fall apart, but it's so that you can build something more meaningful, so that you can bring these more meaningful things together. We have the King of Pentacles coming out, excuse me, reversed. I'm going to pause that until he stops crying, sorry. I'm back, group 2. I didn't want to keep filming when he cries because he's been very, very loud lately. With the King of Pentacles reversed, Kirk, please no. With the King of Pentacles reversed, there's this energy of selfishness, and I can't lie, it feels like you kind of want more of each other's time, but potentially something pulls the two of you away from one another for a little bit. Now, if this person is a father, I see them needing to kind of like, maybe they don't tell you that straight away, or maybe they aren't completely honest with you in terms of like what responsibilities they have going on. There's a bit of mystery here around their responsibilities and what they're committed to. I don't see it in a shady way. I just feel like for some of you, you don't know what this person does for work until like a year into knowing them, and you're like, wait, why do you do that? For others of you, this person doesn't tell you they have kids when they first meet you, because they don't really know how serious this is going to be, and it takes a little while for them to feel like, yes, I can tell you about my kids now. There's this feeling of like keeping something separate, making a decision to, and it is selfish. It is because they're trying to protect their own interests, but it's very much based on their material world, whereas what they've got going on for you is energetic. It's based on emotion, passion. Oh my Lord, there's so much passion. There's so much passion. You guys meet, like, maybe you see them It's really bizarre. Let me clarify that really quickly. What is this King of Pentacles reversed, please, Spirit? Is it about their kids or is it about their work? What is this King of Pentacles reversed, please, Spirit? The Eight of Pentacles reversed. So it's something to do with work, and it's something to do with not being at work. It's something to do with being outside of work, but somehow work is related to it. It's really bizarre. How do you meet them? It's almost like you don't realize how big of a deal they are until later. Like, you meet them at a time when they get to just be themselves, and that's kind of nice. Like, there does seem to be some sort of thing that they're keeping from you, but it's like you see them as someone who isn't them, and they kind of like that. Like, it's really bizarre. It's almost like there's this whole other side to them that you don't see when you first meet them. Yeah, there's more than meets the eye here with this person. Five of Wands, there could be this energy of competition around this person, or there could just be a difference of opinions when you first meet them. Like, maybe you have polarizing opinions, maybe there's something that is said. It kind of feels like you meet them in a challenging environmental situation. It's really bizarre. This is taking a weird turn. I want to say with the Five of Wands that there's something that this person like gets heated over, that shows you their passionate nature, that shows you their explosive side, their side that's really sort of outgoing and passionate, and potentially this is their woke side, their side that is socially aware or like universally aware or spiritually aware. It just kind of feels like there's a side to them that you see and you're like, wow, that was really intense, and I don't know about this person now. Like, they have a whole fiery side to them that I'm just not sure of, and it kind of makes you question until you realize this part, this King of Pentacles side. It makes you question, like, are they worth like pursuing? Because they just seem to be really hot and heated all the time. We also have the Knight of Cups coming out reversed, and we have the Hanged Man reversed. So this person comes across as very stubborn, is what I want to say. This person comes across as hella stubborn, group 2. When you first meet, I see the two of you having a conversation that is very heated, it's very passionate, but it's very fickle, and you're just trying to get to know them, and they're just getting really opinionated, and they're getting really like hard to talk to, and you're just like, oh my days, why are you being so intense right now? With the Knight of Cups reversed, I see you potentially like withdrawing and going, you know what? You stay there with you and your 5 damn wands. I'm going to back off and I'm going to take my bouquet of roses elsewhere because I don't have time for this bull crap. Like, it's honestly like, who do you think you are coming in with this much heat, with this much fire? Like, what? And honestly, it's because this person feels slightly triggered. They like your interest, but there's something about the way that the two of you meet. And because you're coming out of this 10 of Swords energy where you're trying to get out of something really tough, you don't have time for this. You're like, hell no. Take your 5 damn wands and get out. Like, what? Especially with the Knight of Cups reversed, I almost feel like this person is just like, damn it, I really put my foot in it. I really put my foot in it. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why didn't I do that? I should have just shut my mouth and asked this person for their phone number. And like, it's because of this, you can't forget this person. Like, they're attractive as hell. They have a big heart, but they also have a big mouth. And you're just like, oh my Lord, who is this person? So Spirit, what is the turning point in their connection with their soulmate? What is the turning point in group 2's connection with their soulmate? What is the turning point in group 2's connection with their soulmate? I'm so sorry. This is just hilarious. No, you don't. The King of Pentacles reversed just fell out on the King of Pentacles reversed. That is crazy. We have the Six of Swords as well. So listen, with the Strength card reversed, as soon as the turning point in this connection is an apology, straight up, it's also an opportunity. So once this person gets the opportunity to kind of flare and then reflect and go, wow, you know what, maybe I did act premature or immature, or I just kind of jumped the gun there and really came at it with my 5 wands. Maybe I need to be a little bit more balanced. Maybe I need to consider that my actions have a reaction, and that maybe I need to just take things slow and focus on slowly introducing this person to my world. And maybe I just need to focus more on the things that I can control rather than the things that I cannot. This person has a very like fighter energy, like they've had to fight to be who they are today, but they overall become very balanced and honestly just a state of like harmony with you. You kind of show them how to be more balanced. You show them how to appreciate what they have rather than what they don't, and to appreciate their dreams as like clues into what they should be aspiring towards rather than teasing sort of visions of what they can't have, because this person grew up in an environment where these things seemed impossible. So they really struggled to trust their fantasies. They saw their fantasies as distractions and things that were just going to take from them. And I really feel like once this person decides to actually pursue you and to really kind of do things the right way, in the sense of letting you in and achieving a sense of balance within themselves, that's when the turning point in this connection truly can happen. They have to be they have to share this beautiful big heart with you. And look at this, we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed beneath that. So my days, we got two of the King and the Queen both reversed. It's almost like you help this person see what they truly have going for them. And this King of Pentacles is a big deal. Like once you learn this about them, whether it's their children or their career or what they do for work, or the fact that they are trying to become this musician, or they have these dreams that they're trying to pursue, once you learn this about them, it completely changes your energy towards them. You suddenly want to work on this with them. You want to be a part of this journey with them. You want to be a part of their business. You want to be a part of their dreams. You want to be a part of their household. You want to know who their kids are, etc., etc. It's like this becomes a joint endeavor, in the sense of you don't lose yourself in this person's journey. You kind of find each other in this journey, because that is the nature of this soulmate connection with them, is you discovering who you are through them, as well as them discovering who they are through you. You know, it's very much kindred energy there, supporting energy, that energy of really coming in and helping each other. With the Six of Swords reversed, it's that conversation of understanding how you both want the same things, or how you can both work on this in a balanced way. I'm not going to lie, with the Six of Swords reversed, you do need to have this slightly strict conversation, and I see it taking a little while, because there's strong chemistry between you and this person, group 2, and they come on very strong. They're very passionate. They're very... oh my gosh, they make you just kind of feel like a little bit, oof, I lost myself there for a little bit. Like I came off balance a little bit, got a bit distracted there. So it kind of feels like it takes a lot for you to simply focus and have this serious conversation with them. But it's more about like, well, how do we move forward from here? Like, what can we do from here? Because I kind of feel like you get to know this person passionately, sporadically, potentially because of their other commitments or because of some sort of work situation, their children, I don't know, it takes a little while, but once this conversation is had, it leads to harmony, it leads to you being more invested in each other's lives. So let's get some more hints before I end your reading. Group 2, who is their soulmate, Spirit? It does seem, for some of you, that you need to travel in order to be together. That's the energy that I'm getting with the Four of Wands and this airplane card. It's almost like the two of you need to travel in order to be together. So there could be a distance. This person could move for work, for example. I'm not too sure. But you have to both want it with the Nine of Wands. You have to both say, I'm willing to fight for this. And it's not about fighting anybody else. It's about you both deciding that you want a relationship. You want to be in each other's lives. So looking at initials here, this could be yours or theirs. We have an X coming out, Xavier, for example. Christina, apparently, as well. We have a D coming out. We also have a V, so there will be success. I just see that it comes after a lot of intense energy initially meeting them. We have an I, Ignatius is the name that I've been getting lately. I don't know why. We have an R. We also have an M. I heard Matty. That's interesting. We have a J, potentially Justin, but I'm hearing justice, so like balance. We have a H over here for happy days, and that beautiful, oh, happy days. We have no. Okay, I'm going to clarify that after. We have an F as well, so that's interesting. Interesting initials, you guys. Can we clarify, please, why the hell do we have no? Why do we have no here? What does no have to do with their soulmate spirit? I'm a very jealous person. No. You know what I heard? This is something I say, so that could be why it's coming out. But I heard I don't get jealous, I get distant. So potentially that's what this person's trying to do. When you first meet them, they try to create like a little bit of a frenzy around them. Like, yeah, you're amazing, but like, listen, I'm not looking for anything serious. And you go, okay, and you bounce. And this person's like, what? I thought you were going to pursue me. And you're like, no, I don't get jealous. I just get distant. Like, there's this feeling of, nope, I don't get jealous. I just get distant. And I don't know why I'm laughing at that, because it's you putting up a healthy boundary of, like, if you want to date around, that's fine. I'm just going to keep looking for someone to take me seriously. And I think that's when they decide, oh my days, I need to come through and I need to take this thing seriously, with the word forgive coming out. We also have you already know, which is interesting because the bottom deck energy in my channeled messages deck is you already know as well. So maybe it takes a little while for this person to come around, because they have this guard up. They have this energy of like, I have a big heart, this person's just going to hurt me, I got to stay focused, I got to keep working on my stuff, I can't do this. Spirit is saying very soon, which is interesting. You can take that as a time frame. If you don't know this person yet, you could be meeting them very soon. We also have water energy coming out, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's actually Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but anyway, we have awakening here. So I do feel like this person is woke, or they're awakening. There's this energy of like, they're very in tune with the collective energy, whether they choose to simply focus on the community around them in their 3D world, or whether they do have a higher spiritual calling. There is this feeling of they end up being quite influential in some way. I'm seeing Barack Obama. I don't know why, but I'm seeing a Barack Obama in my mind's eye, like when he was at the university and taking that internship. Oh, anyway, in his prime. We also have Taurus coming out with fixed energy. We have Virgo, so we got some earth here. Virgo is mutable. We also have Gemini, more mutable energy, which makes sense because my speech, oh my days. We have Aquarius, more fixed. So 2 fixed, 2 mutable signs. Any more signs? We have, oh, why? Of course we do. We have Libra. Very airy person, very airy. All 3 air signs came out, Libra and Earth. Now, moving forward, we have the throat chakra. So this person, communication with them, you know, one of you is very talkative like I was, like I am. And the other person, it comes across as too cool for school. They have a front and they're pretending like they got a lot. They're pretending like they're very cool, but they're also losing it as well. Like, you both feel this kindred energy, and this person who's pretending to be very, very cool and calm and collected, they are actually like feeding off the energy that the other person is giving. They absolutely love this energy and this feeling of, oh my god, this attractive person is paying attention to me, and they're funny, and they have a big heart, and they seem interested in my dreams. Like, what? It's almost too much for this person to take in. Now, we also have the third eye chakra coming out to confirm that feeling of an energetic connection, energetic messages with the lady whisperer, sensuality, telepathy, attraction. We have the 4th house, which I want to talk about first. The 4th house is more Cancer energy. Oops, excuse me. Home, parents, and nurturing. So that kind of confirms that this person could have a child, or the 2 of you could end up having a child together. We have the 5th house coming out, which is about expression, fun, play, drama. What else could I share with this card? There is more of a childish energy in this energy as well. We have the parents over there, and then the 5th house could be more about the children. So there's a strong energy of children. And we have the 12th house, so Pisces energy, endings, secrets, imagination, Neptune's sort of fantasies. This person is a dreamer, absolutely. That's what you need to know about them. They're very kind, but they're a dreamer, and they have an expressive side to them that is very, I want to say, there's something about them finding their inner child again, figuring out what makes them happy again. Yeah. So really quickly, because I did this for group 1, what will be your first conversation with your soulmate, group 2? Excuse me, no. What will be your first soulmate with your... Okay. What will be your first soulmate with your... Excuse me, I can't even say it. What will be your first conversation with your soulmate? Okay, one more card. Thank you so much. Did you see, you probably heard as well, I'm stumbling over my words like crazy. There's something about speech here, and that first conversation, that first yarn, as we say in Australia, it is very impactful. You can't forget this person. The way that they treat you, the things that they say, the energy they give you, you can't stop thinking about them. I left because I told you to, and I came back because I couldn't stop thinking about you. That is what they are saying. I left because you told me to, and I came back because I couldn't stop thinking about you. Oh my Lord. Okay. So we have you are wrong. So yes, the two of you butt heads when you first meet. The conversation shows you a side to them that is very heated. I don't feel like they offend you. I just feel like they come on really strong, and it's kind of like, whoa, okay, I just opened a can of worms. We have you are right in the reverse. So this person is stubborn as hell, group 2. They are completely stubborn, and that's what we feel over here. Your first conversation is all about kind of them, and that's something that you very quickly realize you don't like. And it's not that you don't like them, but you don't like the way that that conversation is going, so you seem to cut it and move forward. I still don't have the answers. Yes, because you didn't get to say the things you wanted to say. This first conversation is very much one-sided, and it leads to another conversation about who are you and why can't I stop thinking about you. We have maybe. So yes, you feel the energy, but you're not satisfied with what you've heard. I have so much desire for you that I didn't get to express because you decided to talk about your theory on like crop circles instead. Like, it really feels with the Ace of Wands like a false start when you first meet them. And we also have, do you even care? Yes, that's your first conversation. Absolutely. Group 2, that is what I see for you. That is who one of your soulmates is. This is your romantic soulmate. You have many, many soulmates in your lifetime, thank God. Soulmates are the cream at the top of that beautiful fresh pot of milk that we all need. I hope this was informative. I hope this was helpful. I want to thank you again for sharing your energy with me, for joining me, for supporting me, for being here just for today or for tomorrow or for the past. I appreciate everything that you do, whether you're stopping by or whether you're subscribing. Thank you so much. I hope this reading was entertaining. I hope it was informative. Take what resonates. Do not let the rest take from you, and I shall see you in another video. Bye. Hi, group 3, and welcome. If you chose the rose quartz crystal, then this is going to be your reading. Oh, group 3, listen, I'm so excited to do this reading. We are asking Spirit all about your soulmate. I'm going to be pulling several different tricks out of the bag. We're going to be asking your first impressions. We're going to be asking about their personality. We're going to ask about how you'll meet them. We're going to ask about what your first conversation will sound like, how else you may be able to identify them. And then there's going to be a part 2, because after filming the first 2 groups, I realized that I still haven't been able to cover a fraction of what I wanted to. So this is just part 1. Let's keep an eye out on that part 2. I want to apologize in advance for Kirk. Bless his precious little cotton socks. He's being very attention seeking because it is so close to 5 o'clock and I've just started a potentially 45-minute video, so he knows that he's going to be waiting until 6 o'clock. Now, first impressions of your soulmate. You have smoky quartz, the number 18, Virgo, as well as the throat chakra. And on my days, look at that yoga pose. Group 3, that yoga pose. Okay, so what this tells me is your first impression of your soulmate is this energy of they're a little bit of an introvert, okay? There's something unique about them. They present as a hard person to read, though. They have an analytical side to them. They're hard to get to know. They have a little bit of a... They're selective with their words. They're selective with their communication. They may come across as very wise or well-spoken, but there's something about them that's like a little bit off-putting. I almost feel like this person intrigues you, but also makes you uncomfortable, you know? There's this energy of they seem to know a heck of a lot, and yet they come across as someone who doesn't know anything. And maybe they have a very humble disposition, you know? They act like they're very youthful, or they pretend like they don't don't know what's going on, but then they're out here hustling and it seems to be in their own lane. I want to say that this person is a little bit of a hermit, like maybe they disappear for quite some time and then they come back and you're just like, oh my goodness, this person is completely transformed. Now, all of this energy is implying to me that your soulmate is someone that you may know for a long period of time before you either come into union with them, or maybe this is more of like a friendship soulmate energy. I'm not too sure. We'll get more cards. But what I'm kind of gauging here is that you seem to have a fair amount of time to gather a first impression on this person. And with the throat chakra coming up, I don't feel that you say a lot with them. I feel like you're spending a lot of time listening or observing them. There's something about this person where they internalize a lot of things, and communication seems to be highlighted here for a reason. Communication with your soulmate is very important. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out for you when we ask about your first conversation with them. But firstly, let's ask about their personality. Who the heck is this wonderful spirit? Group 3. Who is Group 3's soulmate, spirit? Who is Group 3's soulmate? What is their personality like? We have funny guy coming out. Why did that make me laugh? I'm literally that person. I could laugh at anything. Kirk, don't you dare go down that hallway. Kirk. This is what I'm talking about. Attention seeking. Oh, we have Romeo. Oh my days, Romeo. Let's see what else comes out. What is this person's personality like, please, Spirit? What is this person's personality like? What is Group 3 soulmate's personality like? God complex. It was reversed, but I'm going to keep it upright and we'll just explore the energy neutrally. I want to say that these are like archetypes, so we don't have to take this 100%. It could just be a general energy of a part of their personality as well. Oh, I'm just being shown narcissist. Okay, but the artist is the card that fell out. Okay, I like these cards. Let's see what's your bottom deck energy. Foreigner. So they're going to be very different to you, Group 3. They may be from a different cultural background, ethnicity. They may speak another language. They may be well-traveled. They may have a different upbringing, different customs. There's something about this where it's like, initially speaking, social media is standing out to me. You may spend a lot of time watching this person on social media or trying to figure them out through social media. I'm seeing other culture. I'm seeing different but inspiring. I'm seeing a lack of understanding and distance leading to other ways. So there is a feeling here of like, who are you? You know, like that's kind of what you're figuring out with this person. They intrigue you, but they're hard for you to figure out. And they seem to disappear for a period, but we'll figure that out too. What is Group 3's soulmate's personality like, Spirit? What is Group 3's soulmate's personality? Confidence. Oh, intriguing. Here I was thinking they're introverted and they're coming out with confidence. Tenderness. Okay, that's cute because it's going under Romeo. They have a seducer side to them. A seductive. We also have efficiency coming out. Interesting. I want to get one more card. We have simplicity. Well, excuse me. That is an interesting bag of fish. Is that what you say? Is that the phrase? Bag of fish? I don't know. That sounds really weird. That sounds really weird. Kettle of fish? No. What is it? Bottom deck energy is prosperity. So, wow. And you know what I realized I didn't do that I did for the other groups? I'm going to read you your message for your first impressions card. This smoky quartz. Let's see what the book has to say for you. I don't think I did this for Group 2 either. Oh my lord, inconsistent already. Alright, so Earth is the element, Virgo is the sign, and the chakra is your throat. The message is, dreams are carriers of symbols and messages, and the time has come to realize this and to meet the more secret and subconscious part of ourselves. A process of liberating emancipation is happening in our lives, and it begins from the power of dreams and from the creative source. Whew, that is massive. You guys, you have a strong dream connection to your soulmate. Apparently, the two of you connect in the dream world. In fact, you may dream of this person before you meet them, or vice versa. You may meet this person and then you just all of a sudden you can't stop dreaming about them. Dreams seem to be big, but it also seems to be the way that you realize your truth. So I want to say that this person seems to unlock something within you that leads to you realizing your truth, which is beautiful because that's come out for each of the soulmate readings in different ways. Now, in terms of this person's personality, we have funny guy, playful man, joker, lighthearted, laughter, thoughtfulness, non-serious, looking at the brighter side of life. So this is a very charismatic, I want to say somewhat charming, but overall funny, humorous person. This is someone who has a personality that you seem to just vibe with, in the sense of maybe they use humor to sort of break the ice with you. You know, they come up to you and they present as this really lighthearted person. I think this person says things because they like the way that you laugh, group 3. Like, this person likes you smiling and laughing at them. They also feel like humor kind of does break the ice. It makes you more approachable, because I'm getting that this person is someone who kind of stays in their little lane, and they seem to be someone who is quite mesmerizing and mesmerized with this Romeo. Look at how these two people are like holding each other. That's so precious. There's this energy here of being blown away by you and feeling very seduced, but I also feel like this person feels seductive to you. Like, this person feels like a lover offhand. Like, you feel an instant physical attraction to this person, but I feel like communication with them is also really like alluring. Like, there's something here about, like, you're not saying a hell of a lot, but what you are saying is very attractive and charming, and there's this hunter energy that is standing out to me here. So, ooh, interesting. Now, this person's personality, when you get to know them further, they do have a very romantic side. They have a very passionate side. I feel like this is the kind of person that would want to look into your eyes when you're making love, you know, like they're that kind of person who comes on very intense, very strong, because they really want to connect with you. That's what I'm kind of getting. Like, this person, there's this feeling of someone here being an enigma. That is like my favorite word of 2020, this feeling of enigma, and just almost like needing to figure this out. Like, who are you and what have you done to me? And maybe vice versa. Like, there's this real questionable pull towards each other. And with God the Complex coming out, I see this person's energy being somewhat resistive. Potentially this connection leads them closer to their faith, but I kind of feel like this person is out here just trying to like figure things out through this connection. This person may be someone who has a stubborn side to them. I just got out of group 2's reading whose their soulmate was very stubborn. Your person has a stubborn side to them, but I feel like it's like this energy of agnostic until, what is that word? I'm skeptical until you offer me the information. Like, that's sort of the kind of energy they give me. It's not that they completely don't believe. It's just like, and that's almost the opposite of what this card says. I feel like this is someone who is looking for a reason to believe, which is intense. It's like this person wants to believe in a higher purpose, in a higher energy, a higher power almost. Like, there's someone who they could have a very strong connection to their faith at the time that you get to know them better. Like, they could be an incredibly spiritual person who does the full 9 yards, you know, the praying, manifesting, doing strict physical rituals in line with their religious beliefs. It kind of feels like this person either goes all in or they're all out until they're convinced to go all in. Like, their mind is, and that's Virgo's energy. It's kind of like all the way over here until you offer enough information for them to go all the way in. Like, they'll never sit in the middle. There's always black and white options here. And that's what I'm kind of feeling here as well when it comes to faith or just information in general. This person has an analytical, inquisitive mind that is curious, and yet like they'll be completely over here until you give them enough reason to go all the way over there. There's no in between with this person. So I can also see you having very interesting conversations with this person because they have a lighthearted side, and then they have like a really inquisitive mind where it's just like they want to know more, they want to explore more. And I kind of get with the artist over here that this person's personality draws you down some pretty creative somewhat unconventional paths. Like I almost feel like this person inspires you to be more creative as well, or to be more expressionate, or to maybe pursue your passion again. Like there's something about this person's energy. I'm seeing originator, designer, producer, brilliant, meditative, lost in art, and creative. So maybe this person helps you get back into your creative flow. Maybe they help you take advantage of your creative talents and to really maximize what you create and how you make more time for your creations. I don't know why I'm focusing on creativity, but for whatever reason, those are the 5 archetypes you've gotten, and they're all super significant into who your soulmate's personality is. What their personality is going to be like. They could be someone who's creator, like a creator, creating something. And they kind of just get really focused when they do these things, Spirit is saying. Like when they're creating, they're in their own little bubble. They go into hermit mode and they just disappear from the world, and then they resurface, and all of a sudden, like, they're this incredible person who has this amazing new design or this amazing new creation. It's really intriguing, if I'm honest. Like, who is this? We have confidence, telling me that they do have a sense of like self, like they're very secure in themselves is what I want to say. That's probably why. I feel like this person seeks validation from within. They don't go, aside from them having a strong sense of faith and believing in a higher purpose, they don't rely on other people to validate how they see themselves. They come across as very strong, very confident. They do have this tender side, Spirit is saying, and I think that their confidence is sometimes over-exaggerated in order to protect their tenderness. Like this person may be feigning confidence sometimes. Feigning or feigning? Feigning? I think it's feigning. They may feign confidence to get themselves through an uncomfortable situation where they feel like they're maybe too vulnerable, or they may be expected to overshare. I feel like this person isn't someone who overshares. I feel like they connect with people really well for whatever reason. They seem to be someone who can really connect with people, but this is like everyone's acquaintance and nobody's friend. That's the energy that I'm getting. Like a lot of people might know this person, but not a lot of people actually know this person. With the efficiency card out here, I do get a healthy work ethic, to say the least. There may be workaholic tendencies here with the efficiency. I also just get that this person is task orientated. Like they're the kind of person who, when they have something on the brain, they have to do it until completion. And that's kind of Virgo's tendencies as well. This person is coming through so strongly, Virgo. Efficiency is telling me, like, when they are in this zone of creating or like just finding their higher purpose or finding you or wanting to like have fun, they are completely in there, like 100% committed to that task. This person, there's no in between. Like they are a very, very dedicated kind of energy that really gives it their all. With simplicity coming out, I kind of get that this person leads a very basic, simple lifestyle. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this person isn't on social media, or if they are hard to find on social media. I wouldn't be surprised if for whatever reason you're the one that ends up Googling them, but you can't really find a lot about them. There's this energy of like dialing it back. Like maybe they've been all in before and now they just want to chill on the outskirts of life. Like they kind of seem to be a simple person. And I feel like the misconception here is that you see them as being so complicated and so enigmatic, and you have to like solve them. They're like a puzzle that you have to solve and you have to figure out, when actually like they are who they are. Like I feel like if you ask this person a direct question, they're going to answer you directly. I feel like you kind of make them out to be more complicated than they are in the beginning. Let's get some more personality questions and then we'll move forward. What else can you tell us about group 3's soulmate, please? What can you tell us about group 3's soulmate's personality, please? We have the repairman over here, so they could be good with their hands. Get your mind out of the gutter, group 3, or was that just me? They could be really good with their hands, though. Group 3, please, Spirit. What can you tell me about group 3's, excuse me, what was I saying? Soulmate. Oh, mirror. Yeah, they seek validation from within. They have a lot of confidence, but I also see this person having long periods of reflection. Like, I feel like this person has spent either a long period alone or they've, like, are very aware of themselves somehow. Like, I don't know what that message is specifically, but there's this, like, I'm getting, take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror. Like, I feel like the mirrors are really significant to this person somehow. It has to do with reflection and being more aware of self. Group 3, who is their soulmate? What can you tell us about their soulmate's personality? This person has had to fight for something with the claw here. This person has had to fight for something. What have they had to fight for, Spirit? What did they have to fight for? Dragon. They've had to fight for themselves. I feel like this person may have lived a separate life, like, if that makes sense. What that is telling me is that your person has had to, like, really fight to be who they are today. It may not be a lot, like, there may not be a lot to them when it comes to leading an exciting lifestyle or being like this person who's all over social media, but I kind of feel like they really fought hard to be who they are today, and there's a humble energy to them, but I feel like they're actually achieving a lot. Like, I feel like they kind of downplay their success, but I'm getting this energy of, like, really needing to just be who they are, even if it's different, even if it hurts other people, even if it offends other people. This person has had to really assert themselves over their society, over their community, over their family. I'm feeling like this person is almost wounded in a way, and they're not willing to be the victim anymore, but they're also not going to keep getting hurt. You know, like, I feel like this person withdraws when they feel like they're getting wounded, and instead of fighting back, they just fight for themselves. Like, they fight to be themselves. The dragon is super unique in my eyes. It's a very rare, strong yet vulnerable energy, because I always see the dragon as, like, yes, you blow fire, but, like, knights can slay you. Like, there's this energy of having to really protect yourself, protect the inner treasure. Oh my god, Kirk, stop it. Group 3, we have rainbows. So I think after everything that this person has been through, there's still a very optimistic, fun, light-hearted, happy energy. And I see that they do have a lot of success with the gold coins. They're very humble, though. This person doesn't see material success as success. I feel like this is the kind of person who creates experiences. Like, they just want happiness. Honestly, they sound like a Buddhist energy of, like, just living in the here and now, learning to kind of be present, and just trying to release expectations. I almost feel like this person has potentially spent a long time working on themselves, group 3, like a really long time working on themselves. They're very, like, group 3, who is their soulmate? Yeah, I just saw Band-Aid. They've really been healing something. So apparently you may know this person for quite some time before you see the potential in a connection with them. With the spatula, it kind of feels like some of you may meet this person and then something happens and you meet them again, and it feels like you're seeing another side to them. The spatula for me is about flipping over and seeing a new side or starting fresh. Like, maybe the first half, you know, when you cook that first pancake, and I've been cooking a lot of pancakes lately on my days, and sometimes that first pancake comes out, like, really burnt or not cooked enough. Like, it's always that tester pancake. I feel like that's what's happened here. There's almost like this energy of you meet them and then you really meet them. And when you get to flip that pancake over and cook it properly this time, you get to see the real truth. It's almost like other people's eyes or the opinion of others or some sort of toxic perception or a limited perception potentially leads to a false perception. But I feel like the two of you end up attracting each other into each other's lives when your vibrations are more aligned, and I see it leading to something more stable, but it does rely on, like, that mutual energy. Your person could be cultivating something quite significant when you come into their life. With the waterfall here, I heard don't go chasing waterfalls, stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. So that's interesting. I almost feel like this person's energy is like half ambitious, half reserved. Like this is someone who has an adventurous side, but they also just like to chill. Their personality is very much black and white. It's either all in or all out. Maybe they're the kind of person who, you know, you invite them to a house party and they're the ones like at the beer pong station and they're like taking shots in the kitchen and then they just disappear. And everyone's like, where the hell did they go? You know, like it's all in or all out. With the maze here, I feel like this person is very complex and they're hard for you to get to know. You have to really kind of just take them for what they are and ask them the right questions. They almost come across as an oracle as well. Like it's difficult to kind of break the surface. With the poop here, I definitely feel like this person almost purges parts of themselves. Like they kind of reinvent themselves is what I'm getting. Or maybe like when you finally meet them, they are more so themselves than they ever have been. I almost just feel like this person has literally been through some shit though with that card. Like that card comes out for me when someone is trying to purge something that was toxic, something that was no longer serving them, like it was just pure waste. Like this person has really just reinvented, almost rediscovered, or just realigned with the Virgo energy here. They've realigned. They have such a connection to self and such a internally strong compass. They follow their own guidance, and I want to say 10 out of 10, they're usually on the money. Like literally, this person may make money through spirituality as well. With lounge chair here, I feel like this person is very chill. I feel like actually they love to just relax. They may love to go on vacations or sneaky little getaways. Maybe they just like to disappear is what I was picking up with the smoke here as well. It feels like this person just disappears. They're a hard egg to crack. And I feel with the gun here that they do things impulsively as well. That's something that you're going to get to know about them. They have an impulsive fire streak that likes to live in the moment, but for the most part, they are very reserved. We have hot springs, so I do see that your connection with them bubbles slowly. Now let's see how the two of you will meet. This is going to be a super duper detailed reading. So we're only halfway through group 3. I hope you're hydrated. I hope you're snacking on something delicious. I'm about to eat a delicious burger after this, so I hope you're hydrated. I hope you're happy. I hope you're healthy. Let's figure out how you're going to meet your soulmate. Group 3, please, Spirit. How will they meet their soulmate? How does group 3 meet their soulmate? Oh, excuse me. 6 of Cups. Sorry. I just got really excited. That's one of my favorite cards. Oh, wow. Group 3. How do they meet their soulmate? Oh, my days. This card is haunting me. The Devil and the Knight of Cups. You guys, this is so cute. How does group 3 meet their soulmate, Spirit? How do they meet? Oh, the Page of Swords. So some of you guys might scout them on social media first, apparently. With the 10 of Wands reversed. That's really bizarrely interesting. We have the Empress over here reversed, and we also have the Magician reversed. There's a really precious energy about this person. They're quite sensitive. They're wise, yes, but they're still just a sensitive vessel. You know, like, oh, there's something really precious and yet stern about them. Like, they're sensitive, but they're strong. They're a yolk, but they're also the shell. Like, it's really bizarre. We have the 5 of Wands at the bottom. So, okay, what am I feeling here? How do you first meet your soulmate? Let me hold this beautiful rhodochrosite crystal. I feel like you meeting them is like a feeling of coming home. Let me just tell you that, okay? With the 6 of Cups coming out for you first, group 3, you meeting this person feels like coming home. And there is something tempting about this situation that makes you feel like they're forcing you to do something bad. It almost feels like it's really like temptation. There's this seduction energy here. Maybe one or both of you mislabels this connection as a purely physical connection with the Devil card coming out. It almost feels like it's too good to be true is what I want to say. There is definitely sexual tension between the two of you. There is a physical attraction. There is a strong energy of like, oh my God, this person could touch me and I would melt. With the Knight of Cups, I feel like the feelings come on very quickly. For the Devil, the Knight of Cups, and the 6 of Cups to be your first 3 cards, it's like you meet this person and you just know straight away. The feelings develop really quickly here. And I want to say that there's this desire to get to know them better, but my Knight of Cups, as romantic as they are, they're also a very shy, timid energy. So I want to say that it does take a little bit. Some of you may not be long at all, but for most of you, there feels to be a hesitation here to kind of dive right in. There's no sort of rushing energy with this. It feels like slow and steady, and but working towards potentially a friendship first, which leads to a romance. But it's like you don't friend zone each other. You do feel these feelings, and you never really call this person your friend. Like they're always just that person. Like you call them by name, or you call them as like your friend's friend. Like they're never your friend, because you know that you have feelings for them. With the Empress reversed, I feel like you see this person in a really high light. I feel like they see you in a highlight as well, in the sense of like there's this feeling of you're both going to achieve a lot in your lifetime. But when that Empress is reversed, it's either that achievement hasn't happened yet, you're still figuring out who you are, or you're still trying to grow this. Like the Empress represents growth and nurturing and fertility and abundance. When it's reversed, it's like this baby isn't coming out. You know, this birth isn't happening. We're still pregnant. We're still cultivating this life within us, and potentially that could be a blockage when you first meet them. They feel really good, they feel like home, there's feelings there, they're very sexually attractive, but you're not ready yet, or they're not ready yet, or they're still growing, or potentially they have status over you. Could be the other thing that's coming through there with the Empress reversed and the Devil. If feels like a seductive situation, because this person could be your boss, or because they could be a little bit older than you even. There's something here that feels like, oh, you make me want to do bad things. Like if I do that, I could hurt someone type of energy. With the Magician reversed, I feel like you first meet this person when they're potentially feeling less than their wonderful self. Like they're still kind of gaining that confidence that they eventually have, which is probably why you're so intrigued by them, because you can kind of tell that this person is on a road to self-discovery. They're figuring out who they are, and you can see straight through their present into their future. Like you can tell there's something really special about this person. They're going to achieve some incredible things in their life, but you also see maybe that they are feigning some of this confidence in order to protect their vulnerable self. That is literally what the Magician reversed and the Knight of Cups could mean. Maybe either this person comes on too strong, or they're really overly confident to protect how tender they truly are, which is kind of a deterrent. There's this energy of, geez, like what do they want? Am I going to be good enough? Like is this person even interested in a relationship? Like what do they want? It kind of feels with the Magician reversed as well, that potentially it's hard to have a serious, like long conversation with this person. Maybe you value the communication, but it's either really short or it's not as deep and meaningful as you want it to be, which is why it's hard to initiate this Knight of Cups energy. With the Page of Swords reversed, when you first meet them, I feel like you're instantly curious, and there's this energy of like Googling or asking or finding information that you weren't able to obtain verbally. Like the Page of Swords is someone who is curious, but they struggle to ask the right questions. They're not able to gather the information from the primary source, so they use other resources. This is like an inexperienced communication style. This is someone who it feels like you're like sleuthing around on Instagram and Facebook, or you're asking mutual friends, or you're like thinking about them. Potentially what this leads to is a misunderstanding. And I feel like this leads to you prematurely labeling them as something, or getting wrapped up in an idea of them rather than who they truly are. There's a feeling here of creating fantastical fantasies of this person rather than getting to know who they truly are. With the Page of Swords reversed, it could be a temporary thing, or it could be something that lasts a while before you're able to have this deep and meaningful conversation. But they definitely feel like home, and I feel like there is a lot of physical attraction there, and you do really feel for them. Like you have feelings for them as soon as you meet them. With the Ten of Wands reversed over here, this person may strike you as someone who struggles with boundaries. You may meet them in a situation where they seem to be under the pump, they seem to be very busy, they seem to be doing a heck of a lot. They could just be someone who seems to be overly confident, Or you might see them at a time when they're just trying to avoid responsibility and they seem really reckless, or they look like they're just going through a lot right now. Like there's this impression of this person when you first meet them that seems to be someone who is either a really high achiever or who carries way too much on their back and they're just trying to let loose. Like that is the general energy. Now let's see what the turning point in your connection with them is. Oops. Like what will either bring you into union or what will help the two of you realize that you're soulmates. Group 3, please, Spirit. What is the turning point in their connection with their soulmate? We have the Page of Wands over here looking curious as ever. That's interesting. A stalemate is what I heard. And now we have the Two of Pentacles, a stalemate. What is the turning point in their soulmate connection? We have the Sun card reversed. What? Oh, okay. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay. Ain't no sunshine when he's gone. That's literally what I heard. Anytime he goes away. Wow. Okay. So, geez, it takes losing you to realize there's love for you. Oh, my heart. That was very loud. We have the King of Swords coming out. Any other cards to indicate the turning point in this soulmate connection, please, Spirit? We have the Chariot. Stop. Whew. Wow, we're out here catching feelings with the Queen of Cups. I love these readings. I feel like I'm just going on this beautiful roller coaster through space and time. Wow, so this is powerful. Listen, both of you underestimated this connection. Yes, there was a feeling of, wow, I really like this person, but they're a temptation. And geez, that's it. There's this almost... This person needs to figure out who they are, and I'm just going to keep on figuring out who I am. This person needs to work on like being truthful, and I'm just going to try to be who I am. Like there's this feeling of like needing to come into your power. And you may resonate with that more, or your soulmate may resonate with that more. But when we start over here with the Page of Wands reverse, this is frustration due to potentially investing energy into the wrong thing. With the Page of Wands, this is an explorative, curious, creative, passionate, sexually adventurous energy of someone who's figuring out who the heck they're going to be. This is a potentially mislabeling this connection as a childish fantasy. I kind of feel like someone here wasn't taking this seriously in the beginning. I may be jumping to that conclusion, but I feel like communication wasn't serious, communication wasn't grounded enough, communication wasn't balanced enough. One person here potentially withdrew communication early, and the turning point was with the Two of Pentacles. I feel that someone tried to distract themselves with work. Someone tried to pretend that they didn't have room in their life for this kind of connection. Someone tried to get back to their 9-to-5 job, or someone tried to just go back to their lifestyle and pretended like it was going to make them happy, when actually with the Sun reversed, there isn't sunshine when you're gone, Group 3. Like this person, eventually, both of you realize that you are the light of each other's lives and you make each other so happy. And again, this is the kind of person who they seek validation from within. So potentially they spent a long time trying to figure out why they couldn't make themselves happy with the Sun reversed. They spent a long time beating themselves up and getting frustrated with the fact that they were either depressed or just not feeling it. And potentially, you know, maybe they do have mental health. This is general reading. We don't want to jump to those conclusions. But I feel like this person spent a long time trying to figure out like why they weren't happy and how you had so much bearing over that. And eventually, with the Eight of Wands over here and the King of Swords and the Chariot, their mind concluded that this desire wasn't going to wane. If anything, it was just going to continue to build until it had to ground with the Eight of Wands. Potentially there was some sort of communication that changed their focus, that made them allow themselves to see something more here. There was potentially something with this Eight of Wands that created a new spark of desire within them that made them pick up the pace a little and be more assertive towards what they want. And even though the King of Swords is an air-based energy of thinking and analyzing, with the Chariot here, this person made the conscious decision to follow their feelings, to not let their fears hold them back, to work with what they were feeling and what they were fearing in order to get what they want here. And what they wanted, group 3, was you. So whether this has happened yet or not, that is what I see with your soulmate. That is the turning point, because with the Queen of Cups here, there is so much love that deserves to be explored. This indecision led to them feeling more and more blocked, and it's almost like potentially this person was always kind of putting this on the back burner with the world reversed. They might have been out here achieving a million other things before they turned around and realized, oh crap, it's time to go back to group 3. It's time to finally figure this out. It's time to finally face the truth and really understand why I can't stop thinking about them. And whether this was just a quick couple of days without hearing from them, or like a good couple of years, this is the kind of person who they almost thought that they could go through most of their life alone, doing all of this by themselves, for themselves. They almost didn't expect to need or want another person in their life. And I think this is the kind of person that technically they don't need anybody, but they 100% want you there. And there is a part of them that really does crave you to the point where they won't admit it, but they do need you, group 3. Like their soul, in order for their development in this lifetime, they had to meet you. They had to feel what it feels like to feel this way. And honestly, this is a very high level of love. This is close to unconditional. They are the kind of person who kind of seems to need an element of freedom in order to do whatever the hell they're doing over here with their creations and with their God complex energy and their foreigner energy. They need a level of freedom, and I think they always anticipated being alone to do that. They didn't think that they were going to have someone join them on this journey. So in the last couple of things I want to get is any other hints about who your soulmate may be, and then we're going to see what your first conversation with them was like or is like. Group 3, please, Spirit. What is Group 3's soulmate's personality? What are their initials? What can you tell us about Group 3's soulmate, please? Okay, this is interesting. I'm seeing the letter K, which is bizarre. Okay, wow. We got a lot. So let me get to work because we're already at 30-something minutes. Oh, I'm seeing love. Love. That makes me so excited. Okay. How many times have I said okay? Oh, Lord. All right. Now, in terms of letters, this could be yours or theirs, first, middle, last name. In terms of initials, we have the letter I. That's come out in every single reading, and I heard I love you. I also heard I owe you. So goodness, what's that about? We have S. So I'm hearing is it, oh, is it too late? Is it over? Oh my days. We have V for victory. Okay. We have the letter Z. I heard that snoozing. Somebody took an L here. I'm seeing the letter W. We also have a P, playtime, excuse me. We have a H, house, home, heart. That's interesting. So this person feels very comfortable with you, but I feel like they thought they needed to kind of figure themselves out independently before they came together with you. House, home, heart. That's really precious. House, home, heart. I'm hearing home is where the heart is. This person may be a bit of a wanderer. They might be someone who spends a lot of time at home with this hermit energy, kind of trying to figure out their big feelings. We have the letter E coming out as well. We have the letter N. No way, apparently. We have another H, so double initials, double letters. First, middle, last name. We have an X for excellency. Apparently, this person has high expectations of themselves. We have a P. I'm hearing puppy dog eyes. So the way that you look at this person melts them. We have the letter T for turn around and turn back time, apparently. We have the letter J, just wait, just in time, just in the nick of time, just in the nick of... I'm hearing that Lime Cordiale song. Or was it? It's the Rubens, teeth. Just by the skin of our teeth. The letter O for only one. Kanye West, Paul McCartney. Sacral chakra, strong sexual attraction. This person will also inspire you to do something new for yourself, is what I feel. We're being shown the 12th house, endings, transformation, secrets, the subliminal, the fantastical, dreaming again, this energy of dreaming of one another, connecting in the dream state. 4th house, that sense of home, belonging, finding. I'm hearing, have I found you? Have I finally found you? This is really wholesome, you guys. The 10th house, we got some Capricorn, we got some Pisces, we got some Cancer. The 10th house is all about structure. It's about your career. It's about traditions. It's about authority. Potentially, this person could be very ambitious because they seem to be creating something with a God complex and exploring things in other ways. I kind of feel like there is an element here of tradition. Like maybe the two of you are very different with that foreigner energy, potentially following an authoritative figure rather than, I mean, that may not apply to all of you though, but it did come out with that house. We have Leo as a sign. I'm going to get all the signs out at once. We have Aquarius as another sign. We have Gemini as well. Gemini's come out in every group so far. Okay, so going back to chakras, we have crown chakra indicating that dreaming again. I feel with the crown chakra that this person helps connect you to source again, or vice versa. This is someone who is on a higher purpose journey. They may be someone who is very, very, very in tune with their inner self, because their inner self is connected to their higher self, which is connected to source. And I feel like this person, if you're not there, or you may be there and you help them get there, there's this feeling of you're both very, very connected to source, and your information is unfiltered, completely pure. But because it is so, it doesn't always match with your logical mind. So there is an element here of learning to work with that rather than against that, marrying the two together, helping your information through source to awaken what you're seeing, because our perceptions aren't necessarily a true reflection of what is going on. That's a tangent. Let's get back to this. We're seeing root chakra now. So this transformation from the ground up energy, stability, creation. I also feel with root chakra, it's more about protection. Like there's this energy of the two of you just kind of being in your own little bubble once you come into union. We have the 1st house and the 2nd house coming out. So first impressions and second impressions. No, I'm kidding. First impressions with the 1st house. Maybe this person appears to be on a journey towards self when you first meet them. With the 2nd house here, it feels like this person potentially, there is a lot of weight put on them prioritizing their material values or how things make them feel. This person seems to be very sensory though, so that is in line with Virgo's energy as well. 2nd house is technically Taurus though, so they may look good. They may be someone who presents well, they dress well, they may cook good as well if you get to eat the food that they cook when you first meet them, but they just kind of like, they appeal to your senses. With the 6th house coming out, I feel like there's something about health here. They could be, their career could be centered around health or helping others, and I kind of just feel like this person has a routine that they like to stick to, and potentially that leads to them being very isolated. We have the 5th house here talking about fun and play and expression, so we know that they're a funny person, we know that they are a confident person, and that is confirming to me that they use their confidence and their humor to mask some of the serious stuff that they're going through, to protect their true tender self, and to sometimes push people away rather than let people in. You and they have a lot of love for one another. This person strikes you as someone who is very kind, and that is part of the reason why you know like they're a good person. I feel longing here, so there's definitely going to be a separation for many of you. Potentially, if you haven't met this person yet, at this point in time, the two of you are attracting each other in. You're definitely pulling each other in with this magnet card. And the longing here, you're vibrating at the same energy. Spirit saying yes. So I don't know if you asked a question, but the answer is yes. So to end your reading, what is Group 3's first conversation with their soulmate going to be about? I'm a very jealous person in reverse. Excuse me? What is Group 3's first conversation with their soulmate going to be about? I want you. Okay. Maybe. I'm not a very jealous person, but I want you, maybe. Excuse me, what is this conversation? What is group three's first conversation with their soulmate going to be about? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There is someone else in the reverse as your bottom deck energy. So listen, group three, your soulmate is highly ambitious. They are very focused on self when you first meet them. Your first conversation with them is kind of super reflective, being true to their Virgo nature. This person may not be a Virgo, but at the time that you meet them, they're in a very reflective period of building themselves from the ground up. I see that this process starts materially, which is why we had so much indication towards like Taurus in the second house. It feels like they're very physically motivated at the time that you first meet them. Their journey is about the Nine of Pentacles, gaining their wealth, gaining their status, gaining a sense of like independence. This person is out here trying to find out who they truly are, and they're gaining validation through their intrinsic value, which is why their altruistic value, sorry, is that the best word to use? Potentially not. They're ending a tough cycle and they're trying to be more selfish, which kind of leads them to not taking this thing with you seriously. They know it's a serious situation, but with there is someone else, one or both of you assume that the other person wants something different, or you're potentially in a different relationship at the time that the two of you meet. With I'm a very jealous person, I do feel like this person, they're saying they're not a jealous person, but they do seem to be paying into the sense that you have a lot of attention around you, or vice versa. It kind of feels like with that card, this isn't the kind of person who wants to kind of prove their worth to someone. They want to know their worth, and they want others to know their worth as well. With this I want you, I don't doubt that this person is attracted to you from the minute they meet you, but what that card is talking about is the fact that this person has ambitions. And we know that with the 10th house, this person is either career orientated or they have some sort of plan that they're trying to fulfill. It's a long-term endeavor. You meet them at a time when they're working hard towards this. They seem to have momentum behind them, and they potentially have tunnel vision. So it's really hard to figure out, well, what do you want then? Like, do you want me, or do you just want your goals? With the maybe here, there is confusion around this person when it comes to love when you come into their life. And I see that most of this is because of their attraction to you. It's like they have their eye on some sort of prize, and then you come in and you distract them from this. And there's this energy of them hoping that when the stars align, the two of you come back together, or that the two of you will align eventually. There's a strong energy of like something needing to happen first. Like this person has a plan, or they're somewhat of a traditionalist, and they have to tick this box before they can get to that box. With the Two of Pentacles down here reversed, this person just feels like they have to balance a lot of stuff out first. They have to sort themselves out. They have to get all their ducks in a row, and they have to figure out who they are and what they're supposed to be doing in order for you to be able to come in, because this person is very actually out of balance when you first meet them. This first conversation is going to show you how ambitious they are, how distracted they are, and also just how, like, yes, they're funny, but they don't know who they are or what they're doing in this life yet. That is what that first conversation is going to show. And it's not until they sort themselves out and they realize where true happiness lies that they come back into your life. And the two of you become drawn together because you're both more emotionally stable and more ready and aware. Energetically, you pull each other back into each other's life. So group three, that's what I have for you in terms of your soulmate reading. It's super lengthy, super duper detailed. I hope it was informative. Thank you for tuning in from me and Kirk to you, and I shall see you in another video. Bye, group three. Hi, group four, and welcome to your soulmate predictions reading. I just realized I still have my watch on, so I'm going to take that off. I don't like to wear my watch when I'm shuffling. It's just too restrictive. So listen, group four, you are in for a treat. Today's reading is going to be super duper detailed. It's going to be quite lengthy. A little heads up. Pause the video now if you need to go to the toilet, if you need to hydrate yourself, if you want to get a little beverage to drink along the way. I'm just sipping on water, but I'm probably going to get into some wine after this. It's been a long filming session, and I did take a break before I filmed you guys, just to refresh and get my own energy recalibrated, fresh for you guys. It's lengthy. We're going to start with your first impressions. I'm going to be getting into what your soulmate's personality is going to be like, how you are going to meet them, what they are potentially going to say to you during your first conversation. And to be honest, what I've realized is that even though this is super in depth, it still isn't touching nearly like a fraction of what I want this reading to be. So there is definitely going to be a part 2. So stay tuned for that. To get this ball rolling, to get this show on the road, as they say, let's have a look, group 4, to see what your first impression of your soulmate is. Interesting. So group 4, I'm seeing Jade. The number 24 could be significant. And we also have Venus with the heart chakra and this very interesting yoga pose. So first of all, heart chakra, Jade, and Venus tells me that there's a lot of beauty in your connection. I feel like there's a lot of admiration. I feel like this person may really think highly of you, and potentially vice versa. You would hope so. Excuse me, I just choked on my own spit. Oh my days. That's crazy. I just heard in my head, you take my breath away. So you must be very attractive in your soulmate's eyes. Let's see what the book's message has to say about this beautiful crystal too. I managed to remember to do this for 3 out of 4 of the groups. So apologies to group 2 who didn't get this special message. But your message is pertaining to: following periods of stress or shock, both physical and psychic, we must give ourselves time to recover. A period of rest has presented itself to us, though we must not take this as a forced inactivity. Idleness is in fact a precious companion for rediscovering ourselves. Immersed in silence, we can finally listen to the sounds of our soul. Oh my days. And that kind of makes sense, you guys. That's why you take my breath away. This is telling me that there's either a feeling of numbness. One person potentially hasn't felt this way before, and another person didn't think that they could feel this way. There's a real, oh, this is really wholesome. Where do I want to go from here? I kind of feel like your first impression with them, group 4, it comes after a long period of either idleness or boredom, or just sort of feeling like you kind of lost your zest for life, or feeling like it's a little bit like, I don't know, maybe you had been on social media maps for quite social media apps for quite some time, and then this person kind of comes into your life and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have to be on these apps anymore. I don't have to be worried that I'm not going to find my person anymore. There's an energy of finding each other after a period of searching so long that you almost give up. Like there's a period of inactivity before you meet your soulmate. And I guess that this sort of drifty energy leads you to kind of, like someone's heart skips a beat here, because I literally choked on my own spit. And the first thing I heard was, you take my breath away. So that's insane. Let's see what your soulmate's personality is going to be like now. I'm kind of getting this energy of like, you're everything I wanted, and yet you're everything like I didn't know I needed. You're everything I wanted, and yet I didn't know I needed you. That's crazy energy. It's very beautiful. I love these kinds of readings. So, group 4, what is their soulmate's personality like? What is group 4's soulmate's personality like? We have hoping. Okay, so with this part of your soulmate's reading, group 4, in terms of who your soulmate is, you may not realize some of these traits about them until you get to know them better. But let's see what we get for you. What is group 4's soulmate's personality like? What is group 4's soulmate's personality like? We have Romeo, my heart. Yeah, it feels like that Eliza song, you wasn't looking for love, and then you met a girl like me. Oh my lord. Even that Heartbeat song by Raveena. We have Juggler, here nor there, this drifty energy. Not moving in heavy in thoughts. That's interesting. Group 4 spirit, what is their soulmate's energy like? We have the Henpecked Man. Okay. Put that up there. And we also have Stay Away. These were all reversed, mind you. So this is potentially their shadow aspects. Ooh, and we have Admirer. Okay, so they were all reversed. They could be shadow aspects of this person's personality. We have Broken. Oh, I'm hearing that More song. How's it go? I'm just a poor boy looking for answers. What is that song called? Oh, my head can't think of the words. Heaven's Only Wishful by More. I'm going to get more stuff about, speaking of More, I'm going to get more info about their personality And then I just heard elevator music in my head. So courage is here to kind of clarify that this person spends a long time longing for you before they tell you. Okay, with the elevator music in my head, that was them kind of like so how's the weather today? Like, you know, just really awkward energy. We have reliability coming out as well. What is group 4 soulmates personality like? Oh, you're the reason I feel this way. Heaven's Only Wishful by More. You got to listen to it, group 4. Prudence, and suddenly it all makes sense. I'm nearly there with acceptance at the bottom deck over here. I'm just going to get one more deck. It's been a long day, you guys. I'm slightly delusional. I don't think I should have wine. I think I'm already there. I think I'm naturally already there. All right. Let us get some more hints as to this person's personality, please, Spirit. Oh, we have Love Goddess coming out. I want to show you that one more time. Love Goddess, camouflage. Oh my days, this person is smitten. Dancing shoes. Ooh. You guys, you make them feel so good. I feel alive right now. I'm so tired physically, but my spirit is strong in this moment. I literally, group 4, I'm not even joking. I sound like I'm being dramatic, but you make this person feel alive, like incredible. I'm about to get goosebumps. I think I'm getting goosebumps now. Yes. Oh my days. Oh, I've got like the biggest shiver down my spine. Oh my God. Let's get some more. What is this person's personality like, Spirit? This person knows you already. Group 4, when this person fully realizes who you are, they aren't going to be able to let you go, but they're waiting. This person seems to know who you are already. It's like they met you at a time when they weren't expecting to meet you, and potentially you haunt this person in reality. Like if you're not in union with your soulmate, but you're fairly sure you know who they are, it feels like you haunt them. And potentially they haunt you as well, in terms of their energy is just, it's wrapped around me right now. It is just very intense and very, it's not bad, but it's just really strong, really, really strong. Group 4, what is their soulmate's personality like? My heart. I knew there was a reason why. Listen, I might clarify, but for now we're staying with Rainbow as your bottom deck energy. Broken Rainbow acceptance. Group 4, I'm seeing a narrative here. Your soulmate knows you, sees you, understands you long before you actually come together in a union. For many of you, listen, this could be a friend who stays on the fringe of your social circle, but you definitely don't friend zone them. The chemistry between you two is magnetic. And for whatever reason, it takes a long time for your soulmate to come towards you. Now, honestly, this energy is incredibly strong, group 4. Like, I think I'm just going to hold this. Maybe I should just, I'm going to hold an amethyst because there's so much coming through that I don't want it to be too scattered. I want to make sure that I'm kind of channeling this accurately. So let's start from the beginning. In terms of your soulmate's personality, with the hoping here, I see that they have this element of anticipation. I'm not even joking. That the energy within me right now, most of you who pick group 4, you already know who your soulmate is. I keep shivering, like shuddering, like this person is anticipating crossing paths with you very soon. If you don't know who they are, their higher self right now, Spirit, is like guiding them through this. Spirit is like fully like, you're ready, get ready, stay ready. Like you've been ready. You're going to meet your soulmate. Get excited. Like I'm so excited and I'm so jacked up. Like I really feel like I've just sculled like all this pre-workout and caffeine. It's incredible. There's so much energy within me, and I really feel like this person, if you don't know them already, they're coming in very soon. This person currently has their energy focused on you, whether you know them or not. With Romeo here, they're mesmerized by you. Your soulmate is someone who, honestly, once you enter their life, they are a lover. Whether they realized that about themselves before they met you or not, they're mesmerized by you, group 4. And this energy is super intense. Like, it's going to come on really strong. It almost feels like love bombing, but I don't think it is. I think this is very scary for them. You're low-key their addiction, group 4. There's something about them that is heartsick over you. Their heart,
longs for you. We have longing here twice, 3 times actually. Longing, longing, and longing. They are longing for you as we speak. Spirit's saying that they're waiting for you. Apparently this person is really anxious about coming into your life for whatever reason. They want to be a good provider, but they don't feel like they are right now. For some of you, this person could have been in a marriage that they're leaving, but I feel like their sense of home is with you. And there's something about this connection that makes them feel immature. It feels like they need to know more, but they are ready. They're wanting to come forward. They're wanting to see where this leads. This is someone who sees forever with you, but they don't really know how it's going to work out. With the hedonist here, they're taking a chance. They're just trying to follow their intuition. They're just trying to do what feels right, and they feel like they can't stay away from you, especially if you resonate as someone who may know this person already. Their energy is already so tethered. Like, some of you guys are having dreams about this person. That's how strong it is. It's just, oh. With the juggler here, this person is heavy in thoughts at the moment, and they are someone who, in general, their personality reflects someone who is analytical. This is someone who internalizes a lot, but I'm getting that out of this. Group 4, your soulmate is someone who has a very intense stare. Like, their eyes could just, oh, they could dress you down or like lift you up with their stare, you know, make you feel really small or really big. Like, you feel their stare. They're that kind of person. I kind of get with this juggler here too, that they're the kind of person that takes a long time to figure their stuff out. They take a long time to fully commit to something, whether that's a relationship in the past or just like them a career move. This is someone who has to be really, really sure and really, really aware of how to pull it off, is what it feels like. It's not that they need the confidence, it's like they need the courage. I feel that that's why we have courage down here for you, group 4. Your soulmate is someone who, for whatever reason, they don't commit easily. Like, they have a loyal energy to them and a stubborn, stuck energy to them as well, but they do come across as a dreamer, a romancer, someone who reflects a lot and analyzes a lot. With the henpecked man here, they could be a part of a system that's bigger than them. For some of you, they could be in the military, for example. They could be someone who is a part of like a organization that has structure and order. Their first job could have been in a large corporation that made them feel like they were just another foot soldier, you know? Like, for whatever reason, this person has a part of their personality that appears to be under control. And I kind of get that they don't like that part of them, and to potentially, group 4, you trigger that within them. And there's something that really intrigues them and also scares them about that. They kind of like that they're a fool for you, but they also feel like with this stay away here, like, you could ruin me, you know, like, stay away, you could ruin me, let me be, not now. These were all in the reverse too. So I feel like this is their shadow aspects. Their shadow aspect is that they are somewhat of a servant. They're either a slave to their job, or they're really under the dominion and control of like family potentially. Like, maybe they have a really manipulative parent, you know, one phone call and all of a sudden they're there type of energy. I don't know. There's just something about this person that they really don't like this about them. It feels like they are someone who wants to be free and follow their heart and follow their dreams, but they seem to be a foot soldier of some sorts. And with the stay away energy, it keeps them emotionally unavailable until they're forced to see the truth of their situation. With the admirer here, they have this obsessive side to them that can be very, very, very addictive. And I feel like this is a side to them that they try to hide from you. I feel like this person is very aware of you before you start to actually get to know each other. This person may spend a long time just fantasizing and dreaming about you before they actually work up the courage to ask you out. I'm getting that this is the kind of relationship that involves a lot of pleasure because there is so much focus on you. With the love goddess here, this person is attracted to every inch of you. Regardless of what you look like, regardless of how you see yourself, this person, you are just like the way you smell, the way you taste, the way you sound, the way you act, the way you walk, the way you carry yourself, the way you brush your hair, the way you don't have hair, like if that's the case, what you wear, like this person is obsessed. You could come to work or rock up to wherever the hell you two share a space and literally a garbage bag, and this person would be like, oh my God, I need to go home right now. Like, it's insane. Their energy is just like, this is my person. And you kind of help them see that this highly strung side to them that likes to cling to their reality in terms of their cultivation of assets, it isn't necessarily worth all of this attention and focus. Like, you kind of help them embrace their dreamer, their longing, their fantasies, the things that they want in life. You help them escape their 9 to 5, because I'm getting that either this person's job or routine gets really mundane and boring, or they just easily lose sight on like long-term exciting things. Like, maybe this person every now and then just has like a big bender on the weekend just to feel something, because there's something about this person that becomes so numb, and they start to really lose that compass of, well, why am I here? What is my purpose? What is the meaning of this life? Why do I just wake up to go to work for 9 hours of the day, only to come home and feel horrible and not get to do anything that I want, and then be too tired to do anything that I want? You help them really realize and remember that they are a spirit having a human experience, and they're here to get closer to love. You help this person kind of break out of their box, because I feel like they just get so stuck in the mundane day to day, and they do have this romantic side to them that isn't happy, that doesn't want this, that is a little bit depressed and anxious and feeling really lackluster, for lack of a better word. Camouflage all this longing and this admirer. This person will know you long before they actually reveal themselves to you. You will know of them, group 4, but you won't know the intensity of their feelings for you until they really open up to you. And even then, I feel like they hide their obsession from you, if that makes sense. With the dancing shoes here, I feel like this person watches you when you're out. I don't know how. I feel like this person's personality, they like to cross between the fly on the wall to just doing something crazy to feel something. It's that song, I'm just trying to feel, baby, I'm just trying to feel something really real, baby, something really real. I don't think that's the lyrics, but feel like a person again. And you come in and all of a sudden it's like, well, geez, why am I doing this? Like, I'm out here trying to get rich, but is that really what life is about? Is that really what I need to do? You make this person want more for themselves, though, that you make them want to step up and be a better person. You could help this person with their career goals, but their personality is very like, they live in the matrix. The matrix is their life. The day-to-day, the 9 to 5, this career that potentially their father or the people in their life have had before them that they're expected to have is their life. And it's breaking their heart to be this way. It's not who they want to be, but it's who they were molded to be. And they would just feel like another cog in the system, and they hate that about themselves. With the ghost energy here, I do feel like this person kind of, I don't know, there's this element of you resurrect them. You bring life back into an otherwise very boring, dried out, inactive period. And they kind of realize afterwards that that inactive period was necessary. You don't know what you've got until it's gone. And this person was in a period of absence. They didn't realize how boring and mundane their life was until you came in and really showed them what this is all about. Like, it's about experience. It's about love. It's about connection. It's about creating experiences. And I think it's been an incredible journey for them thus far. Like, I don't know why. I feel like a lot of you already are in union with this person. Let's figure out how the two of you meet moving forward. This is a beautiful energy. I might just get another drink of water before we continue. Oh my gosh, I need more water after that. That bottle is empty. Okay, group 4. How do they meet their soulmate? This person who's longing for them, longing big time. Like, if you're in union, this person is like, can't get enough of you. We have the Strength card and the King of Cups reversed. Interesting. That's not the best way to show you those cards. Come on, work with me, please. There, that's as good as I can get it. I'm so sorry. The Strength card and the King of Cups. Okay, so group 4. How do they meet their soulmate? Hello, would you like to? The Queen of Swords. Wow, this person is just like, what's on your mind? What are you thinking about? The Three of Wands. Who are you? Group 4. How do they meet their soulmate, please, Spirit? How does group 4 meet their soulmate? We have the Knight of Wands reversed, and I just want to take the Eight of Wands as well. Interesting. Bottom deck energy is the Ten of Swords. I don't know why I had to sing that. Why did I sing that? I don't know. Listen, at this point in time, we're just here for the entertainment. Okay, so when it comes to your soulmate group 4, what I can see here is that you meeting them is actually a very big deal that is definitely confronting, and it's a little bit like, oh my god, this person is amazing. To the point where, yes, I do get that for many of you, there's a bit of a like, please stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back. I'm hearing that Omar Apollo song, I've been feeling you since way back, but I couldn't even make the words to say that. If I could switch bodies, you know I'd change that. But you could never love me, so stay back. This person, group 4, for most of the time that you know them in the beginning, you are literally just a fantasy in their head. You are someone who they imagine, but they can't actually see how you could either want them or you could fulfill the fantasies in their head of you. It's almost like this person keeps you in their fantasies for a long time before they decide, you know what, fuck this. Sorry for swearing, but life is too short. I need to tell this person how I feel. I'm going to hope for the best. I'm going to hope that they don't break my heart, and I'm going to hope that they're going to accept me for who I am and for what I have to say. I'm getting that for you. There is a period of like struggle here that is overcome before the two of you meet. That smoke was going in my throat. No wonder I keep choking. I just kept really hiding it from you guys, but whew, that was a lot. All right, so it feels like there's a tough cycle here that this person gets stuck in. Maybe they just always think like, this is it for me. Like this is where I'm at. I'm just gonna be like this forever. I'm just gonna settle into this lifestyle, and this is gonna be me. And gosh, I can't imagine. I don't know how it's gonna work, but if I can just have my once a month bender, like I'll be fine. Like that's the kind of things that they're saying. And then all of a sudden they meet you and you completely disarm them from the beginning. With the Strength card reversed, this person feels small next to you. You are gorgeous, you are creative, you are expressive, you seem to be charismatic and strong and also really confident and charming is what they're saying. The way that you carry yourself makes them feel like, oh my god, everything that I wanted in the future is here right now and I'm not ready for it. So how can I make myself ready for this? So what do? They suppress their feelings for you. They pretend that they don't feel what they do. They act really strategic, really cool. For some of you, this person couldn't even like look at you in the eyes when they first met you. They were just sort of trying to play it cool and trying to act like everybody else in that situation, but they were like crushing so hard from the beginning. Your soulmate is someone who is either really, really, really in control of their feelings or like they're just a hot mess. Like there's no in between here. For some of you, this person had to leave because they weren't able to maintain a professional standard around you. Like I'm getting that this is something that like you're everything that they wanted, but they thought like they could never have it right now. This person expected to meet you in the future is what it feels like. With the Knight of Wands and the Three of Wands reversed, it's like they weren't expecting this energy to come towards them so quickly. And I'm kind of getting that they either lost their cool and had to leave early, whatever the situation was, or for many of you, this person just pretended like they weren't feeling anything at all. And it was like, what is going on with this person? You know, you were kind of thinking, why are they being so rude? Why are they acting like this? The first time you meet them, you come out in your power with the Queen of Swords. You're observant of them. You definitely recognize them. You definitely see them. But you mostly notice them because of the way that they're acting with the King of Cups. Like you can't not see that. You're kind of like, what is this person doing? Why do they keep disappearing? Like, why won't this person look at me? Like, they're being so rude. Why aren't they talking to me? Or why are they talking over me? Or why is this person pretending I'm not here? Like, who is this person? Why did you invite them? They're so rude. Like, that's the energy. And with the Eight of Wands here, I feel like something that you say is just really like, it feels like in this equation, you seem to hold the room. Like there's this energy of you uplift the world around you. And I'm getting that there's a lot of fire and attraction towards you. There's a lot of like, you make me want to laugh and scream at the same time. That's what I'm hearing. What the hell? You make me want to laugh and scream at the same time. Oh my Lord. What else can you tell us about the first time Yes, look what just fell out, wild woman. You make me want to laugh and scream at the same time. They're saying they're terrified. There's something about your communication. You're either brutally honest or it's just that you're like straight to the point. Like you see straight through people with the Queen of Swords and you do it with such like, oh my God, like nobody can cut you down. Like maybe you're really witty, you have a really sick sense of humor in a good way, and it feels like it just really takes them by surprise. And it's like, oh my God, only for you. Like I'm so weak, only for you. What else can you tell us about the first time that group 4 will meet their soulmate? How do they meet them? What is the circumstances like, Spirit? We have lounge chair, so it's a relaxing energy. I was picking up on work, but potentially not. It's a lounge chair energy. Potentially after work, you meet them when you're relaxing, or it could be at the gym even. You could meet them apparently in a place that's like temporary. So I don't know, house under construction is making me think that you might meet this person. Oh, I just heard on a job site. That's weird. House under construction is kind of telling me that you might meet this person when it kind of feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's at a temporary place. Like, I don't know how to describe it, except that, you know how you have that friend who moves a lot? Maybe that's just me, but you always have a friend who's like couch surfing, or like you don't really know where they're at. They're always moving, and you might meet them at that address where they're always moving. This person's always moving. Group 4, Sprout. Yeah, there's an energy of like growth here. So the situation changes fairly rapidly and it feels unreliable. Like the circumstances are fresh. You meet this person in something that feels quite new. Like it could be a new home, a newly moved friend, or like a new job, or like you finish work early one day and you decide to go to that new cafe. You could meet them out in nature as well. Yeah, but I don't know. That's as specific as I think I can get in terms of the circumstances. What else will group 4 remember about their soulmate in first meeting them? Okay, so yes, your soulmate stares at you a lot. You're going to pick up on that. You know how I was saying they don't make eye contact with you? True, but you're going to still feel them watching you, okay? With the bed here, the sexual attraction is instant. In fact, that bed card came out with the demon card. So energetically speaking, this person's attention just latches onto you, like their energy latches onto you. But they hide it. With the moon coming out, they hide it. They think that they're playing it so cool. This person may be clinging to their independence, or you could be. With the island here, there's this energy of being hard to read and being very suppressive as well. Anything else before we move on? Spirit is saying dumpster, so interesting. I kind of feel like the first impression isn't the best. Maybe they seem boring because they're not wanting to engage in conversation with you, but something is brewing under the surface and it leads to a very unique union with the unicorn here. So maybe the first meeting isn't going to be the best. I've got to be honest with you. First meeting might not be the best. Moving forward, let's have a look at what is the turning point. What brings the two of you closer to union, please, Spirit? What brings group 4 closer to union with their soulmate? What is the turning point in this connection? The Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. This person curiously watches you for a while, okay? They gather information about you, and then they decide to rush in. Why do they decide to rush in? What's going on? Because they realize that they do want stability with you, and it comes after a long period of them just feeling trapped and denying themselves this opportunity. I'm hearing that there were many times that they could have, would have, should have told you, but they didn't. And finally, they realize that you're not going to, and if they're not going to, then nothing's going to happen. You're both showing up as the King and Queen of Swords, being very manipulative in terms of conversation. And I don't mean that in a truthfully brutal way, but you both realize that if nobody's going to say anything, then nothing is going to happen. This person feels like they need to rise to the occasion. They need to change up the energy. They need to overcome a lot of fear. It takes a lot of courage, and you are going to see this person's personality as being quite courageous. They put in a lot of effort in order to move towards you. It takes a long time, though, For many of you, they sit silently in the background, and there is a separation period of not hearing them for a very long time. It feels like they feel overburdened by this connection, and they kind of try to pass the buck here. They try to like make excuses, or they try to say like, oh, it's okay, we can just be friends, or I can just watch them on social media. And then maybe you decide that you're going to post less on social media, and now they're sitting here going, well, what's happened? What are they doing? What's going on? Like, is it the worst? What's happening? Why didn't I just talk to them last time I saw them in person? Are there other people involved? Why aren't they saying anything? Should I say something? Like, who's going to say something? Why are they being so quiet? Like, what does this person know that I don't know? Is there somebody else? Why are they doing this? This distance is killing me. What is going on? I can't do this anymore. I need to come through. So there's this strong energy of like a long period of being stuck in their head and having to overcome this inner narrative that they seem to have going for them. So what else can you tell me about Group 4's soulmate, please, Spirit? Okay, let's see what else they can tell us. And for many of you, listen, you could be friends with this person for a very long time before they try to actually make a move on you. You don't have to like completely not hear from them again for there to be separation. There's just this energy of they're not completely honest with you about how they're feeling for quite some time before they decide to open up, if that makes sense. Now, in terms of initials, these could be yours or theirs, first, middle, last name. I'm seeing the letter G, so your soulmate could have the G in their name or one of their initials. We have a K, that could be you or them. We have a Q, so they do have a quiet demeanor to them at times because they like benders is what I feel. And listen, that might not mean alcohol. It could just mean that once a month they like to travel, or they like to do something adventurous, or they like to just really test their comfort zone and pretend that to be spontaneous before they go back to their very self-destructive job. We have the letter V coming out. So Victor always comes to mind when that comes out. We have a P. I'm also seeing an A. I'm also seeing an X. And for some of you, you know what I just heard with all these swords here? With all these swords here and not a lot of pentacles, it may not take them a long time to, but it feels like infinity. Okay, with all these swords here, it could happen a lot quicker than what I was initially feeling. It feels like this person's head overthinks the situation and makes it feel a lot longer than it actually is as well. It may not be that long. You may meet this person and it just takes them like a month to truly open up to you. But it does feel like they do go through the motions there of internalizing and definitely suppressing and spying and having to hold their tongue. And it's like you're both in on it here with the two king and the queens. Very careful about being the first person here to say something. We have the letter D coming out as well. We have the letter S coming out. I heard Samuel. We have the letter L. We have the letter P. So we have two P's, which means this person could have double letters, first, middle, last name. Now we also had yes. So if you asked a question, the answer is yes. Otherwise, I feel like this connection only truly starts to step forward once somebody takes that step of, yes, I'm going to be the person to do it. We have happiness coming out. So both of you make each other feel very happy. You feel very good about each other. You make this person feel alive. Group 4, like, holy heck, your energy, they just want to bottle it and keep that on their person forever. Like, you are their person. They were hoping for someone like you, and now it's like, oh my god, I wasn't ready, but okay, let's do this. Earth is coming out, so this person could be an earth sign. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What else do we have? Where do I want to go from here? Let's start with other signs. We have Scorpio coming out, water energy, fixed energy. We also have Aries coming out, cardinal energy, fire energy. That is being followed by more fire energy, Leo, fixed. And where else? Ooh, listen, she speaks and it appears. Capricorn, cardinal energy, earth energy. What else do we have? Libra, air energy, cardinal energy. We also have Taurus, earth energy, fixed energy. So 2 fire, 2 earth thus far. What else do we have? that is it for the signs. So moving over to chakras now, we have the third eye chakra, Ajna, showing up for us. This tells me that there's a strong intuitive connection between the two of you. I feel like with the third eye being here, your soulmate is someone who is actually spiritually inclined, in the sense of they want to believe in a higher purpose. They want to believe that there's more to this life than living in the matrix and working 9 to 5. This person wants an excuse to break out. Like, they want to believe in more. And I feel like your connection with them, group 4, really helps them achieve that goal. We have solar plexus chakra here. So this person is a forward moving energy. They're someone who needs to be working on things. They need to feel in control. They need to feel motivated. They like to be working towards something. And I get that this person has a lot of willpower and determination. So in the time that you know them, you may see them really overcome their circumstances and become emancipated from this situation. You might see them at their worst and their best, and I feel like you're going to love them all the same, and potentially even more because of it. With the sacral chakra here, they are a creator. They're a creative soul. They have a special way of expressing themselves, and I feel like their environment kind of suppresses that for a long period. This person could be a part of the military for some time, for some of you, but they kind of feel like this creativity is the only thing that gets them going sometimes. Like, they have a softer side to them that needs to express themselves. With the crown chakra here, they actually have a direct line to source. We all do. And I feel like you help this person stay in that power of knowing your truth and sticking to your truth, regardless of what, the man wants you to do, which is what it feels like in this situation. You help this person really come into their own. I kind of feel as well, like, for some of you, this person may, like, travel could be a thing here, but I don't know, maybe they travel for work for some of you. Not getting it heavy, so it's going to be a small percentage of you guys. We have the 12th house here talking about endings and imagination, as well as secrets. So I feel like maybe you guys keep this connection a secret in the beginning with your 2 King and Queen of Swords energies and the High Priestess. Maybe you kind of feel a spark, but it's like a secret little thing in the beginning. It kind of just feels like this person keeps their feelings for you a secret initially until the right time to come through is. And I get that they fantasize about you a lot. They spend a lot of time just dreaming about you and longing for you. Longing came out 3 times, so yes. I'm getting that they have a very masculine side to them that wants to be a provider, but they also like to be nurtured. They also have a softer side, a lover's side that likes comfort and operates at the home. Like, they like stability. They like to feel like they're nesting in sometimes, like maybe they have their moments where they're engaged in social activities, but they also just like being at home and nesting. With the 6th house coming out, they could have a job that is in service to others. They could be a health professional as well, but I do get that this person has a very fixed routine. Like, there's something about their life that just feels like it's just, you blink and half the year's gone. It feels mundane, and it feels like you come into their life in the middle of that, and it's just a breath of fresh air. So let's see what your first conversation with them is going to be like, group 4. Oh, that wasn't the best shuffle. Let me try one more time. Over to the side. Okay, group 4, please, Spirit. What is group 4's first conversation with their soulmate going to be like? What is group 4's first conversation with their soulmate going to be like? Group 4. Oh, my Lord. What is group 4's first conversation with their soulmate going to be like? Oh, yeah, that's interesting. They're saying I don't have all the answers. Bottom deck energy is I'm in so much pain, a broken heart, broken, depressive, 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords, Unicorn, acceptance. Oh, my heart, my shoulders, my chest. All right, so what was that? My heart, my shoulders, my chest. Okay. We have, you are so beautiful. Why do you need me? This person sees you as being very independent, very self-sufficient. It feels like you are very much in control of your present situation. Like, you seem to have goals and you're out here achieving them left, right, and center. You could have, like, flex your finances on them. I don't know why that's coming through, but you appear very well made and very self-made. Like, it's a little bit intimidating, but they admire the hell out of that for you. Like, they look at you and they go, that person has it going on. Like, they know what they're doing with their life. We also have you are right here. So I feel like this person, your first conversation with them, they spend a lot of time just like in awe of your achievements and who you are, and they spend a lot of time like listening to what you have to say about how you've gotten to where you are. Like, I feel like this person wants to hear your story when you first meet them. They spend a lot of time asking you questions because apparently they don't have the answers with this Two of Swords. They're trying to figure you out. They're trying to look at you, and there's something about you that doesn't add up. Like, maybe you're still quite young, or like they look at you and they go, how did you achieve that? Like, that's incredible. And it's not to say that they doubt your abilities. It's more to say, like, it's even more incredible that you've achieved all that you have, with considering how you started or considering what you had to be going through in order to get there. Like, there's something really remarkable about the way that you've done it. We have I'm sorry here. So I'm getting this energy that this person may like spill a drink on you, or that kind of feeling, or they may bump into you and they turn around and they go, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, hi. Who are you? Like, just this casual like meeting each other. I'm also getting that this apology could be them saying like, sorry, like we can only be friends for now, or sorry, I'm not going to open up to you for now. I don't think they say that, but there is a feeling of like, I'm apologizing in future for the way that I kept this a secret from you. We also have I can't even look at you right now in the reverse, so it's like I can look at you but I wasn't expecting you, and I'm going to pretend that I don't notice you right now. That's kind of what it feels like. This person's communication with you when they first meet you is very like short and limited, because they low-key feel intimidated by you. They feel intimidated by what you have to say and how you present yourself, and you're this incredible well-spoken Queen of Swords who has like charismatic, and you have a lot going for you, and you seem to be talented, and you seem to see straight through people, and they're just like, oh my God, I can't look at you right now. I can, but I can't. I can, but I can't. I shouldn't talk to you. I'm not going to talk to you, but I want to look at you. But I want to talk to you. And a lot of this happens inside their beautiful brain. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. I think we should slow down, which is kind of telling me that I want this to speed up. Like, where is this going? What are we doing? This person likes control. So I see them trying to gain control of the situation and potentially trying to rush something, or freaking out and backing out early only to regret it immediately and rush back in. That's the energy. We have the Six of Wands reversed. I could be your hero, baby. Yeah, this person feels cut short by your energy. They're so impressed and rattled by you. Like, they're completely mesmerized, but also there's this instant feeling of, I'm not enough. Like, why do you need me? I can't be your hero. You have all the answers. I don't. Like, it's just, I hope you'll wait for me to be the person you deserve. This person may have a massive transformative period in union with you. Like, you guys together really help build each other up to embrace each other's uniqueness and to embrace each other's path in this life. You help this person's boring life so much more interesting. With the maybe here, it's like they're trying to figure out how to see you again. This person's trying to figure out when they're going to see you again. They're trying to figure out how. Like, do I get their phone number? Do I get their Instagram handle? Like, should I add them on Facebook? What do I do? When am I going to see them again? How do I get more information? How do I figure this out a little bit longer because I need more time? It's really interesting energy, Group 4. Your soulmate is a beautiful soul who's going to be completely mesmerized by you, very attracted to you, very stuck on you. It's going to be hard for them to forget about you. And listen, that's where I'm going to call your reading, Group 4. There will be a part 2 to the soulmate reading where I intend on using charms and getting a bunch of channeled messages, but that's all I can do this time around. We're over 40 minutes for the 4 groups, so this is a long-ass reading. I hope it was fun for you. I hope it kind of helped you figure out who your soulmate could be, or confirm that you've already got them in your life, Group 4. As always, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates. Do not let the rest take from you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your support, for exchanging your energy, for coming my way. I really do appreciate you, and I'm sending you so much love and light from my end of this beautiful world. See you in another group video, Group 4. I butchered that, but bye.